Let us know that you can see us and you can hear us. Fantastic. Thank you very much. The problem is with watching the YouTube screen is it's actually about the workout is about 20 seconds. I think it will.
Oh, we can hear you, but we can't see you. That's exciting. Oh, it's because I'm in the editing screen. I didn't hit transition.
Oh, he's not changed.
There you go. It's coming.
Tell you what, you put him in charge for 2 streams.
I know.
This is what happens.
But the music is much louder. Well, should the music have stopped now, Steve?
Yeah, if you go to if we're on the screen where they can see us, there'll be no music.
Yeah. It's all good. I think it's about to happen. Give it about. I don't know when you hear this.
Yeah, we're on. We're on, mate. We're on. It looks beautiful.
Happening? Is it happening?
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm not getting sound and video good from Jill Monroe. That is great to hear. I've still got no picture on the old.
I've got it. Click the.
Why have I not got it on YouTube?
Click the little live. You know when you hover your cursor over the footage. Click the live.
Right. There we go. Glorious news. Glorious news. Welcome to Battle Streams Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Well, on a Wednesday.
2 in 2 weeks.
Two in 2 weeks. It's almost like it's a series.
Unheard of, mate. It's unheard of.
It's glad to see. Good to see. Yeah, apparently I've just seen someone say that I'm a little quiet. I can turn my input up and I can turn you down. So hopefully I've gone a bit louder now. We mildly talk about why that is in a minute. But yes, indeed, welcome to Battle Streams in Middle Earth. This is, of course, our largely fortnightly series in which we take a wander down memory lane via this little bad boy, DXD's Battle Games in Middle Earth. It's not what the stream's called though.
No.
We changed.
They changed.
Yeah. Well, it depends which way round it was, really. But we changed games to streams to make it a bit of a think piece, really. So we hope you enjoyed that.
Thinking Man Show.
Yeah, the Thinking Man's rip-off stream, I suppose. But indeed, we take a wander through this and we hang out and we try and do some painting. Any chance of a mug on your end, Steve?
Yeah, but it's not the mug you were wishing for.
Fair enough, then I can carry the burden this time.
This is not the mug you are wishing for. That's Star Wars, isn't it? It's the wrong trilogy.
Good. The point of Battle Streams in Middle Earth is to clear your backlog.
Clear the backlog.
So yeah, indeed, the whole point of this is for us all to hang out together, normally on a Friday, but not tonight, and paint something from our backlog for the love of it. And we take direction from this. We take direction from the issue of the week and whatever model came with the issue of the week. And as you can see, Stephen Crow. What's this week's issue?
Bilbo week, my friend.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins.
Would you Adam and Eve it? So the theme of this week is Bilbo Baggins. So any version of Bilbo, whether it's old Bilbo or young Bilbo. Oh yes, indeed, even invisible Bilbo.
Did you like that? Did you like that on the thumb?
I did. Double invisible Bilbo. It was actually.
Yeah, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
Do you know what I didn't like?
Just in case I didn't see the first one, you know.
Do you know what I didn't like?
What?
When you didn't send it to me so I could put it on the whole screen.
I did.
Nah, you sent me a link, mate.
Nah, mate. Check your messenger right now.
Live argument.
Yeah. Literally just after the link, mate.
Oh, you did, Stephen. I can only apologise. I thought that was. You know when the picture appears beneath the link.
You thought that was the preview, yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. You got me.
So you went wrong.
Yeah. I apologise. Namaste.
Namaste.
But indeed, so Bilbo Baggins is the theme of the week. Steve.
Yeah.
If they want to get involved, what should they do?
So precisely at 8:30 this evening, on this lovely summer's evening, that's about too hot in this man cave. What would have happened on the Tinterwebs, over on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook group, the OG Middle Earth Strikes Battle Game Facebook group, I think I'm right in saying, a safe place for most hobbyists. You'll find a thread which says this is the whip thread, and there is a link to this very stream that you're watching now. So don't click the link because you'll get this weird kind of
quadruple B-side,
matrixy tenet kind of thing going on. But if you post in there what you're working on, we will have a look at it later on in the stream. And if you are working on theme on a Bilbo, what happens, David?
Oh, Stephen, they'll be entered into a draw for the prize to end all prizes. Did it work?
Dice cam's back, people.
Is Dice Cam back?
Dice cam is
it
back.
on the internet? Did it work?
Yeah, it's slightly crooked, but I like it. It's gimmicky.
It's gimmicky. It's good to have it. Good to have it crooked. Lovely.
Character. We like to call it a character shot.
Indeed.
Smooth.
You can't win these, obviously.
No.
What you can win. Let's go to Zoom. Oh, that's not Zoom. There's Zoom. There's Zoom. It's this bad boy.
Flip the 6.
Solid
Flip the
3.
6.
It changes 6s to 2s. It
Yeah.
has the power to stop 6s being 6s. This is,
Yeah.
of course, a black Battle Streams in Middle-earth dice.
Money can't buy them.
You can't buy them. No? The only way to get hold of one of these bad boys is to win the prize draw.
Yeah. Or find a dice manufacturer and get some made yourself.
Or burgle me. Or, as it turns out, just have a slightly persuasive chat with Macklin at an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, that bad boy will be going home with one of you tonight.
Yeah.
For working on a Bilbo. Now, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember, because he's your boy. But last year...
Last year?
No, last stream.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I believe so. Your boy, what happened with your boy, Aragorn?
Broke the record, mate.
Record
Broke the
breakers.
record. We had a what do they call it? What do they call it when you sod off for a bit around the world?
A hiatus? Is that what you're after?
Hiatus or
A holiday?
anyway, one of them. There's
sabbatical?
another word. Sabbatical. That's the one. We had a bit of a sabbatical where we just life was really horribly busy, and we kind of thought we'd come back, stream, we'd get 2 people in painting along with us with our little Aragorns, but no. You guys smashed it, blew it out of the water. You come back with a bang and broke the record. Was it what was it? 46?
I want to say 51. It certainly wasn't 46.
The old one was Gothmog was 46, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. It was.
I think you might be right. I think it was 51.
Oh, do you know what, mate? I've written down that it's
Larry,
a record,
Larry
but I haven't written down what he got. I think he got 41, 51.
51, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 51.
I tend to agree. I think it was 51, which is absolutely mental.
It's crazy.
Times. That's 51 people were painting Aragorns
At the same time.
watching the stream 2 weeks ago, and that is the record. So, do you think Bilbo can do it? I mean, even if everyone in the stream currently painted, we're going to struggle.
Yeah, well, I've been saying for this binder when we saw what was coming, I thought Bilbo could do it. I feel he's had an unfair handicap by being on a Wednesday night.
I agree.
We are, of course. Should we address the hump day in the room? We're here on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
What are we doing here on a Wednesday?
It's basically, folks, because we went into detail last time about our schedules and how busy they are. It's summertime. It's the busiest time of the year socially. It's especially busier this year than it has been in previous years for me at weekends, for numerous reasons. So rather than have another big gap, we thought we'd get one in, and it's a midweek stream. So yes, it's not Friday night. No, I'm not drinking lager tonight. It's a school night. But nonetheless, we're here. We're doing it.
You see, for me, I have which order should I do this at? I know it's Wednesday, right? Wednesday is the only day of the week where I'm not involved in any way in the school runs. I don't do either of the kids. So that's cool. And tomorrow I have the day off to work on a kind of work project, essentially. So it's like
project.
I'm working. No, I mean it is a work project, but I don't want to have to do real work. So I've basically I'm working on a book. I'm editing a book, and so I've booked the day off to work on that.
Oh yeah.
But of course, what that means is I'm working from home, and I can work when I damn well please.
Yeah.
So to be honest, it's a bit like a weekend for me. So I'm enjoying myself. Not for you though.
No.
But yeah, so as we said in the last one, we're going to we believe in regularity more than sticking to the Fridays, and sadly we feel Bilbo might suffer. I think he is gonna struggle to get over there. But hopefully there's a lot of Bilbo fans out there. Bilbo's incredibly popular, and you know what else? I couldn't believe this. You know, we're just doing these things. We're doing somewhere in the region of 22, 23 streams a year, right?
Like you do.
And getting through like a binder and a bit a year. There's no way of planning when anyone's going to be, really. You know, we work towards like a Christmas one, right, and you know, new release and that. But there's no way. I think Bilbo was meant to be in like April at the start of the year or whatever. It's June 21st. Do you know what happened on June 19th, 2020?
Was it the passing of Ian Holm?
It was.
Yeah, I remember.
Ian Holm died nearly 3 years to the day ago today. How mad is that?
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
I remember it was around this time of year.
And do you remember what we did?
Did we just do it? We did a Bilbo special on his behalf.
We did a Bilbo stream.
Yeah.
We did a Bilbo stream to celebrate Ian Holm. And
it proved quite popular, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it?
Oh, I think so. I can't remember what the records there, but the spreadsheet might know.
We did all right.
When did I say? June 2020? Oh, the dates don't go back that far. That's crazy. It's 16th of October is the last one. So where's the Bilbo? Old Bilbo. I don't have the numbers on there. I can tell you that David Whittaker won.
David Whittaker, remember that name?
Yeah, eh? he won the token at the time. But yeah, that was stream episode number 12, if you believe it.
Yeah, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No, it's crazy. But yeah, how weird is that? That with all the delays we've had and everything, in some way, we've nearly ended up on the exact anniversary of his death. So tonight, we hope we'll celebrate Martin Freeman, but we hope you're raising a glass to Ian Holm. And celebrating all things Bilbo with us. Really. But there we go. Steve, have you got any snacks?
I have. Although again, I've not gone crazy tonight. No beers tonight because I do have to go up very early. So I've kind of sort of gone down your route. I've got my tea, which is not in a BSIME cup. I do apologise. I was rushing at the last minute. I've only just got in. I also have a Pepsi getting cold with some ice in a plastic festival cup because that's our role. And then my snacks, as I was on my way back from gymnastics. No, I wasn't doing gymnastics, by the way. I've got the body for it. Have these been on the stream before?
Frazzles? I don't know, mate.
I love Frazzles. So I got those just because I've seen them before. I've not had them for ages. And then I also was in the shop, and I was only going to get them, if I'm honest. Because I knew about tea. It's going to be a short stream. I'm not going to be eating loads. But then I seen these, and it was, I think, the limited edition, and this was the last one in the box.
Is that a gold?
It is gold.
Yeah.
Billions wafer. So I think it's the chocolate for gold bar with a wafer and a bit of cream on top.
Very cool, very cool, very cool.
So I've never had one of those before. They're brand new. We'll see how they are. What about you?
Well, as you can see, I'm glad everything's going well, but it's really weird. My YouTube is clearly lagging because I'm still watching the dice cam when I've just come back to this window.
It's because you're... Do you know what will... if anyone says... Keep an eye on the chat. If anyone starts to say you start to get a bit laggy or jumpy, or the stream starts to get a bit laggy or jumpy, you come out of YouTube and just watch.
So I'll just close that window.
Because you're getting your computer to do to download.
It's gone, mate. It's gone. It's gone. It's done. It's gone. It's gone. I just like having the safety of it there, knowing that it's still live.
I've got it here, so I can keep an eye on it.
But yeah, indeed. We didn't actually mention that, but this is the first time. Obviously, I hosted it last time at my mum and dad's. This is the first time I've hosted it at my place. So we're putting all our faith in Damien's internet here, and we'll see how it does. But you know, we've been going for 20 minutes, and
yeah, I think
no one's saying
I
we can't hear you. I think so. Fingers crossed.
We did say from the next one we'll try back on my interweb. I seem to have turned a corner. Things seem to be working at a fairly decent rate on the internet. They still are working on all what they're doing in Virgin Media. BT have left, and that other third-party thingy that they've gone. I've not seen them all week, so it's just Virgin at the minute. So I think we've fixed the problems, and Virgin are just finishing installing whatever they're installing. So we'll try it on my internet again next week, and see how we go.
See what happens. But yes, to answer your questions of snacks, my dear friend, I do indeed have my BSIME tea, and to go with it,
Nice.
check out this.
I mean, he's loving them. That second time on the bounce.
It is. And do you remember the story of these from last week?
You went in the garage and got one.
Well, did I?
Emma did.
No, I went in the garage.
Oh.
And I got
2.
Yes.
And you saved one.
It only bloody survived.
A week old. It's a week old. That's a week old.
Oh, about a week and a half, I think.
2 weeks old.
But yes, I've got another mint swirl. It was fantastic last time. And do you know what, Steve? You're gonna like this. Do you know what I've got to drink tonight?
I think you're on the beers because you're loving life because you're not got to get up in the morning.
I am on the beers. More than that.
Moretti. I knew it. Smell it.
You smell it. And it's from a can. And do you know why I got this? And do you know when I got this?
Well,
when I got those mint 12s in the same garage.
Nice,
I picked up a 4-pack of Moretti's, and I had 2 left, and I thought, well, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah. You might not. Oh, he's getting it in a glass. He's going in a glass. You might not be able to go back to Buds after that, mate.
Well, maybe.
You know, it's good stuff, that.
There we go. So, indeed, happy Wednesday, everyone.
Yeah. We hope everyone is having a enjoyable week. The weather has just been mental, hasn't it, the last couple of weeks? It's been red hot, then like the heavens have opened and it's red hot again. And it's been a bit of a weird day today. You can probably see I've got a really red face and head. We've been out in the sun.
Great.
It's very hot. It's very hot in here. Very hot. You look worried, mate. You okay?
Yeah. I'm okay.
Have you got that other window open?
No. I'm just, I'm just enjoying the power of the stream.
Oh.
It's all good.
That's tea done. Onto the cold stuff, which I've been looking forward to. So I think what I'll do is have a little sip of this. And shall I jump in the chat?
Yeah.
Because we could sit here talking all through the stream, but
indeed,
you know,
just before
we haven't got long tonight.
Before we jump into that,
size of that mug.
Look forward to raising one of these with you in about 10 days, mate.
Yeah, we've got the BSIME meetup soon.
Just saying, last time I got to the BSIME meetup, I believe there was a pint waiting for me. So
there was. So I believe it's this guy's turn.
That's not what I was going for, but yeah, sure. Fine, hobby. Any chance you're painting anything?
I've not been in here since we streamed last time, mate.
Fair enough.
It's in the same tip that it was. There's nothing to hand. I'm going to be like this for a few weeks, I think.
I am continuing working on Aragorn. Well, the Aragorn I base coated last time. I've done a bit more work on him, and I'm painting him.
Enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. You know, I said last time that I painted him before, didn't I? Because I had the old one with me. And I'm also working on this guy.
Oh yeah.
Both of whom need to be finished by this time tomorrow because they are being painted for an SBG photo shoot. So yeah,
that's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of come around crazy quick. It feels like we just finished. I mean, we literally did just release the last one. Yeah, we have another one of those coming up, so I need to get those 2 guys done.
Well, I'll tell you what. For the next 15, 20,
Mm-hmm.
you get a bit of paint on them fellas, and I'll dive in the chat if you want.
You do too much, Steve.
I know, mate. I know. I keep telling myself this.
So for the next 15, 20, and then can I just... I'm excited about the next 15, 20. What happens for the 2 hours after that?
I was going to say I just sit down and get drunk, but I just sit down and get sugar rushes.
Oh, I do everything. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Wicked.
Yeah.
That's good. It's all good.
Right, let's do it. Mr. Macklin's in. He says, good evening. Well, in fact, Mr. Macklin and Frederick Schultz were in early doors because I picked it up on my phone. And they put these comments in ages ago. Excuse me. Jill Marone's in. She says, evening all. Steve has forgotten to put a picture of the model in the thumbnail this week. Bit of satire from Jill.
Good that.
And Frederick, he's laughing at Jill and says, classic Steve, messing up the thumbnail. Wouldn't be a BSIME without it. I think you'll find the thumbnail is one of the best yet. Joe Hosman's in. He says, good evening, everyone. How you doing, Joe? I don't even want to check for a whip thread, says Jill. In your face, Jill. Bang on 8:30. Who's there? Frederick Lowles. TSBG says, hi, everyone. TSBG. That a new name?
I don't think I recognise it.
No, let us know who you are, TSBG, but you are most welcome. Pull up a pew and enjoy. Mr. Haskell's in. He says, last Wednesday I travelled to London and then worked long hours on a systems migration dry run. Worst kind of dry run, mate.
That's hot.
Next Wednesday I will be doing the same. But it is not this Wednesday. No, it is not, my friend.
This Wednesday we stream.
Yes. Mark Fry's in. He says, good evening. Early start in the morning, so I'll probably be asleep before they start. Oh, we're here, mate. We're here. We're cooking on gas. Hey, do you know what's a weird thing?
Cooking on gas. And
it's another kind of, like you said, this coincides Bilbo Week, with 3 years ago. So when we streamed last time, the next day, I drove to Nottingham.
You did, I remember.
To go and visit Mr. Ed Ball.
Yeah.
And measure some windows for him.
Why can't he measure his own windows?
Oh, it's lazy, isn't it? We're streaming tonight. On Friday morning, early doors, I'll be heading back over to Nottingham to fit said windows. It's like he tied it in with the strings.
So you got the job then?
Yeah, of course did. Charmed him, didn't I? Charmed him. I was going to try and tie it in with the meetup and go a day early, do the windows and just stay. But I couldn't wangle it. Anna's working away, so I just couldn't do it. That would have been cool, though.
Mm-hmm. What are you going to bring
he says, hello, everyone. Huh?
What are you going to bring to the meetup?
I don't even know. I was going to bring this up in the stream. I think Dale.
Groves?
Yeah.
It's nice of you to give him a lift.
Yeah.
What arm are you going to use there?
No, I think Dale.
Very cool.
I think maybe Dale and Iron Hills, that sort of army thing.
Just use the normal region. Use the normal.
I've got these guys. And to be fair, I've got loads of stuff I've never used, but I've wanted to use these for ages and I've not used them.
Oh, is that the 2 dwarfs? Yeah.
Yeah.
So no Dale then.
No, I'm not going to use them both. Use one of them with Iron Hills and some Dale or something. I don't know.
Well, use the you want which one is it? Dane and Brand or Thorin and Bard.
Yeah.
If you want to use the Legion, because then they get the special rule.
Yeah. Not 100% yet. I've got 2 weeks on them. To make my mind up.
Yeah, we can.
Probably just rock up with something.
We should probably mention it, what it is, don't we? Because we have our annual meetup coming up.
Yeah. So how many have we had? 2?
We've already had 2. Yeah, this is the 3rd. Yeah.
So this will be the 3rd. So for the last 2 years, we've been fortunate and lucky enough and honoured enough. And I mean, we have to give a huge nod to Sophie for helping arrange it, and Dan for helping arrange it with Sophie. But we've been honoured to be able to host a meetup for some of our patrons at Warhammer World in Nottingham, where we basically meet up and have, if you like, a mini event. But it's not really an event. I think. Would you agree that the gaming side of it is just an excuse for us all to get together and hang out? And
yeah, well, I'd say it's an event. It's not a tournament.
Yeah. We just sort of play a few games over the day, spend the night in a hotel, and it's no holds barred. What happens on tour stays on tour, basically.
I was going to say that sounded weird.
Me and Damien are working our way through Patreon.
That's like a weird dark twist.
Obviously, I'm only joking, but it's it's great. It's been a fantastic way to, I think for us anyway, to meet some of the people that actually support us, which is a huge honor for us, that people do tune in every fortnight and they become patrons and support what we do, and are pretty much the reason why we're still going. I think if it wasn't for them, this was just something that we set up in lockdown. I had no idea if it was going to be around after lockdown. It turns out that, it's probably the coolest place to hang out if you're in this community, I think. And we're just two idiots who kind of steer on the ship.
Undoubtedly the coolest place.
Yeah, without
coolest
doubt.
place on the internet, surely.
Yeah. So yes, that's pretty much what it is. We meet up once a year. Unfortunately, it is limited spaces. So not everyone can come, which is unfortunate, but it's great to get there and meet up with the people and just have a drink, eat, play games, roll dice, be merry, and just have a lot of laughs and fun.
I'll be bringing my BSIME Gondor army this year.
Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're taking?
Yeah, so it will. Every model in my army will have been sort of painted on these streams, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's a super cool. It's probably, and it's not easy for me to say it because, to be honest, in the last 18 months I've not had a chance to get to many events, mainly just the Warhammer World ones. But even if I did, I think it would still be the highlight of my hobby calendar of the things that I do outside of this nerd cave that I'm in currently.
Nice.
I think it's just a really cool thing for us all to be able to do, and it's awesome that we can do it.
It's nice for us with our fairly busy family lives to see each other as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be great for me because I just feel like I've not hobbied for so long. It's gonna be cool. I'll have to just try and remember the rules for the game more, I think.
Never knew it before.
But yeah, I think I'm going to bring Dale. I'd really like to bring Dale. But we'll see.
The Dale Legion on their own is pretty cool.
500.
600.
600, yeah. You know me and rules packs, mate. We don't get on.
That's true.
But yeah, that's it. Super
cool. Excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm taking Ashley Fisher. I think we're travelling together. I believe. If he's out there, I feel it was this event, so let me know, Ashley, if we're still up for that.
Yeah. That's the point, actually. I might see who's travelling from the northwest and maybe car share. Oh,
I get it. Yeah, friend jealousy. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get a friend too.
So I can say that I travelled with people. You know what I mean? me and my crew, we came in this car.
Yeah. When I walk in and go, I travelled after. I travelled with someone too. So, you're no big
people
thing.
You travel with one. I travel with two people.
How'd you get 2 elephants in a mini?
One in the front.
One in the front, one in the back. How'd you get 2 whales in a mini?
One in the front, one in the back.
M4.
Apologies, people. Just got 4 notifications. Patrons leaving.
It's a good joke, and you know it.
Anyway, I'm going back in the chat. Dwelling's in. Matt Hudson's in. Guys, where's the whip thread, Frederick? Open your eyes, Frederick. God's sake. In development, some might say. It's a work in progress. I do apologise. Since I've come in here. Must be the dust because I'm never in here, but it's setting my hay fever off. Matt Hudson. I can't find it, so I don't know if you're doing the joke or it's actually not up. It's up because I'm getting notifications. I think you guys are just...
I like this as doing the joke. Like, it's enough that, the joke about the whip thread is a real thing.
It's like you're joking, right? You're joking. Yeah, it's up there. I'm looking at it. Literally looking at it. It's 21 comments.
How's it look? Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks class.
Nice.
I think it's the best I've ever seen.
Is it really?
All comments. Get up to date now.
Aragorn's hair, mate.
Yeah.
I've got like a scorched brown kind of and then washed. Where are you highlighting up with? How light are we going?
So if I remember correctly, I go scorched brown, and then I add what's that brown? What's that, like creamy brown? I've got no paint.
Creamy brown.
What's the one that you remember when did Nick Baton do the tutorial for the Rohan houses?
He might have done. I could interest you in a Gawthor brown.
I don't think it's Gawthor. What's the other one that's
Look
more
at the
creamy?
camera.
I'm looking.
Oh, is that you?
Remember, I've got 10 screens. I know what this is.
I thought you're looking.
I don't have to look at you. That's not how the internet works.
Is it a Steel Legion drab?
No, it's not. It's not Steel Legion drab.
Is it a? How creamy? Like a Karak stone, a Baneblade brown?
Baneblade.
Baneblade.
So I think I did wash, then back up to scorched brown, then scorched brown, Baneblade, and then just little touches of Baneblade.
Okay, so Baneblade mixed in with scorched.
A lot of people go with the sort of reddy highlight, but I didn't. I tried to keep it a little bit earthy and.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give that a go.
Where was we?
We just both done exactly the same thing at the same time.
Say again.
I'm pretty sure we both just went da-da-da-da-da.
That's how we roll, mate. That's how we roll.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Martin Slate's in. How you doing, Martin? Says, in before we start. Get in. Jake is in. Evening all. Happy hump day. Whee. Lucky man. Frederick says to Jakey, we're all happy for you, but people tend to keep their humping information private. The Not Piano House has started. A BSIME being on time. What a time to be alive, says Frederick. Steve's still not located at the Piano House then. No, Steve's just not hosting it tonight again. Who's doing the tech tonight? That'll be Mr. O'Byrne himself. There we go. Sweet. Warwick Griggs is in. The man, the myth. Evening all. Hope everyone's well and had a good week. Finally tuning in and getting some hobby done for the first time in 8 weeks. Nearly as bad as me. No Bilbo for me tonight though. Boo. Just some Warriors and Ministry.
More like Bill Boo.
Yeah, Bill Boo. Dublay's in. Evening all. I'm not going to lie. Not too sure about the new music. Don't like the music, right?
You can talk, Dublay. You just released the same song for 20 years.
Getting some hate, that music, I tell you. Murphy's in. He says, evening all. How you doing, Chris? Frederick says, a stream on time and the whip thread is up. What the hell?
That's what happens when I take over, you see.
It's midweek, mate, isn't it? None of us have had any beers. Jill Monroe says, hang on, let me put that on mute because people will start hearing it. Dink.
Mint 12, man. I tell you. Whoa.
It's time to make up for no model in the thumbnail. God, why is that going on there? So, has Steve still not found the USB with Piano House on? No. RIP Piano House, says Frederick. Stuart McLean's in, he says, evening all. How you doing, Stuart? Stuart McLean been in before?
Yeah.
Frederick says, no Piano House. No piano will ever house the same again. Sean Clark says, but you want big telly tonight. That's where we should be, Sean. Come on, lad. Come on. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can't see you. God, I'm well behind. Mark Fry says, whip is up. Lily can't make it tonight, so we painted after school a Bilbo and 2 Golems bought, so no clear in the backlog for us.
Hang on, you say you painted a Bilbo?
So we painted after school. Full stop.
A Bilbo?
No, full stop. A Bilbo and 2 Golems bought, so no clear in the backlog for us. I think we've got the Golems ready. They've bought them ready for next week.
Okay, well, I think there's a chance they've painted a Bilbo, but they're not doing it now. If that's true,
maybe. We'll soon find out.
Let us know, and we'll put it in, and
we'll
allow that. If Lily's gone to bed, but she painted a Bilbo today in honour of Bilbo, we'll put her in. Yeah.
Main screen is still up with the music.
Yeah.
Can't see you, only the thumbnail. There we go. Tech, diff, BSIME, and moments, says Frederick. Sound and video good. It's okay now. Gaming is quiet. But still weird to have 2 empty bases on the thumbnail. Why? That's how we roll. Guys is in. How you doing, pal? Good to have you back. What is happening? Ain't Friday yet. I know. Ashley Fisher says D is quiet.
I don't think Dee's quite anymore.
Joe Kelly says, happy Wednesday afternoon from the States. Hope everyone's doing well. Very excited for tonight's record-breaking 6-hour stream. You're right. Jill says, wrong trilogy, wrong quote, classic BSIME. You know the dance, Jill. Stuart McLean says, I don't own a single Bilbo rubbish week. How do you not own a Bilbo, Stuart?
Bilbo. Can't own a Bilbo.
Frederick says, Bilbo Baggins. Now that song stuck in my head.
It's a great tune. Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall. Bilbo.
You know what? If I'm going to read the chat on the studio screen, that's when it jumps the most. James Barrett's in. He says, evening. How you doing, James? Haskell says, Damien, not quite the right T-shirt. Film franchise, surely.
Oh, this is always the right T-shirt.
30
years, man. 30 years. You know that? 30
Huh?
years since it came out?
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, 30 years.
I can imagine. I remember got to see it.
30 years.
The cinema I went to see it is no longer there.
Oh, well, of course you can remember going to see it. You were, what, 50 or something?
Mute it, please.
Sorry.
Terrible, man. He's always watching himself on YouTube. It's weird. Yeah, Joe Kelly's asking, I'm still in the man cave. I am still in the man cave. Everything is just behind, Joe. So I had great plans about 3 months ago. This should have been finished by now, my 3 month ago plans, but it's not to be. Life's just got very busy. Praise the dice cam, says Martin Slate. Also, Chris E says, no hobbing tonight. Ruth is away on a camping trip, so I'm not allowed to paint in case I win when it should have been her.
Oh, that's quite sweet.
Joe Kelly says, love how Damien's snarky text crawl at the top of the stream is still up. Steve must not have... Oh, I've noticed. Don't you worry about that, Joe.
What snarky text crawl?
Noticed. Just let him have his glory, you know.
What? I don't know what that is.
With a new toy.
Steve
He back. He says, hello everyone, glad to be back following a stream, but not painting, unfortunately. Still unpacking boxes after moving into my new apartment.
Who's that?
Gaetan, congratulations.
Oh,
I hope
very
all
nice.
goes well, my friend. And you are very happy in your new apartment. Good news, mate. Stephen Ryan's in. He says, evening all. Love a surprise stream. Is it a surprise? I think we give you plenty of time. It was at least 10 minutes.
I mean, we only announced it yesterday.
Did we?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we can allow that one to be a surprise.
Davey McShura says, do they know yet? The ticker still says grab an Aragorn.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't?
No, you read it.
No showing I have a time for none. I'm not reading it.
It doesn't say grab an Aragorn.
Oh, it's jumped again, mate. Come on. Gaetan says, yes, it's Wednesday. Well, yes, I'll have a beer anyway. Do it, mate. Have a beer for me because I can't have one. RP Bilbo says, Frederick. Sean Clark says, I'm on the gold billions tonight as well. Good man. You're in good company, my friend. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm talking into it. Katie's in says, hi everyone. How you doing, Katie? Mark City says, hello all. Hate to miss a stream, but I have to be at work for 5 a.m. I would not be able to function if I stay up and watch. Have a great stream and I'll catch up at the weekend. That's good. I had to be up early, but that means you'll probably be getting up around 4. That sucks.
You could always just stay up and watch.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I did
Dave
that with the golf. Do you watch the golf?
No, I've not watched TV for about 3 weeks.
The other night, when was it? Sunday night, and it was like, it got to like 1, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be finished soon, and it finished at like 3 a.m. or something. I was like, but you know when there's like 3 holes left or whatever, I was like, no, I can't turn it off.
You don't need sleep though. You're one of them weird guys. Don't need sleep.
I think I do need sleep. I just don't get it. It's stupid. I think we all need sleep, Stephen.
Dave Walker says, as Unai Emery would say, good evening. How you doing, Dave? Joe Kelly says, sorry, still waiting for more info on the North American BSIME meetup. It's coming soon, yes?
We'd love to.
We'll
hijack Nova.
Well, we were talking about the North American BSIME meetup. I said I'm going to leave that in your capable hands, Damien. So
you're going to leave that to me, are you?
Yeah.
That's unusual. Okay. Well, it'd be cool to do.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's a cheeky one, isn't he? Cheeky monkey. David Shearer says, I was wrong, Damien. Clearly, it doesn't say Aragorn. Thank you for the correction. Zopa's in. He says, "Morning, lads. How you doing,
I was
pal?
like, live and breathe.
Have you in?
How's New Zealand?
Such a lucky.
How are you, man? Hope the family's well.
Imagine just being able to say, I don't know what I fancy living in New Zealand. Should we go?
I think anyone can say it, can't they? You try it. Go on, say it.
Yeah, but no, because then it's just disappointment. I'm setting up for disappointment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't think it's likely to happen.
No.
Yes, I mean maybe it's. I don't really know. Maybe it's less of a deal to hop over from Australia, but it's still a different country, right? And crossing sea. I think I could move to Wales. But beyond that, like
we spoke. I mean, same country, I suppose. But we spoke about, because we've had this conversation before, where in the UK we kind of we're spoiled, aren't we? We kind of think, like, you think up north is miles away, and I think down south is miles away. When in reality, compared to the distances other countries have to travel to
for events
get to places,
yeah,
we've got it easy. But I would move to Cornwall tomorrow. We've actually had serious conversations, me and Anna, about it, and she's just like, not till the kids have left school at uni.
Is that to move the whole family, or for you two to move down there then?
Well, hopefully the whole family, but they'll be at uni, so you know.
Because I mean,
I'd move there. I absolutely adore Cornwall, love it.
It's all relative, isn't it? Like, it's all relative to where you are, and I think as well, like, how, I don't know, how set you are on it, but also isn't Lockie wasn't he was Melbourne, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I think he was Melbourne. Apologies if I got that wrong, but from there to New Zealand is significantly closer than there to most of Australia. So, it would be, I don't know the exact, with the flights and all that, but it would probably it's probably quicker to get to New Zealand, to fly to New Zealand, than it is to drive to the next state.
Yeah.
Because their island is so absurdly large. I think he's Melbourne. Well, not anymore, obviously. But maybe that was it. Maybe it is just like, do you want to go, north, west, east? Well, east is New Zealand. Like, north is Sydney, I think. And west, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of mad.
It's great. It's crazy. It's crazy. Joe says, I can't tell if Steve's joking or if he genuinely believes the whip thread went live at 8:30. Yeah, it did. It's live. I'm looking at it.
I'm starting to be like, are we sure the whip thread is up
now? I've just actually got a notification off Facebook.
The whip thread is absolutely
there. This post is sparking discussion.
Don't listen to him, mate. It's absolutely there.
Keep it going. I will not add a chat because them chat things annoy me. What are those Facebook chat things
I don't know. It's a young person thing.
It takes all the thingy off the post that you put up, doesn't it?
I don't know, mate.
Thomas Sherlock it is, TSBG. Thomas Sherlock here. I've started a small company called Thomas Sherlock Battle Gaming, TSBG for short. I've got my first MESBG event this Sunday at my local geek retreat. Nice work, Thomas. Nice work. Good to see. Katie says, painting my meetup army now. What army is it, Katie? Do tell. Ember Craig says, evening all, no Bilbo to paint tonight, but since I was planning on getting a Witch King finished, I might as well have some company. Good man.
Witch King?
Hang on, turn that on. Dwellin says, planning to pop up for the meetup to see you all. A cuddle would be nice, Dwellin. You know the dance. Frederick says, coolest place on the internet. Put that on a mug. Don't need to. Everybody knows it, mate. Are you allowed to be Pippin at the BSIME meetup?
Are you allowed to be Pippin?
Are you allowed to be Pippin? BSIME meetup.
Be whoever you want to be.
This sounds like one you might get. I don't know. Don't know what that means, Frederick. Gutty can't send BSIME meetup this year. Got a friend's wedding. Last year was Ardicon that I had to cancel because of wedding. This year's the meetup. Bloody, I know. You're probably at that stage of life where all your friends start getting married, mate.
Who's that?
It's a terrible thing. But you know what? A lot of people meet their future spouses at weddings. It's a known fact.
You're going to say a lot of people meet their future spouses at the BSIME meetup.
It could happen, mate. It could
happen, for sure.
It could happen. There's so much love there. It could happen. You are indeed taking me for my sins, says Ashley.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking forward to
Sean
that.
Clark, love the meetup. So very lucky to make it a second time this year. And defo echo Steve's comments. It's my favourite hobby time of the year. Woo, woo. Katie says, I'm taking Chris. Does that count? It counts. It counts. Sam Page says, good evening all. Looking forward to the meetup in a couple of weeks. On theme tonight. Good man. Good man. Sam Page, are we carpooling? Would make sense, my friend.
He's desperate for a friend, Sam. Help him out.
Save the planet, mate. Save the planet and be my friend, please. Haskell says, for the BSIME meetup, I start the Friday in London, then take a train home near Chester, repack and drive to Nottingham. Thankfully, garage fixed my car aircon this week. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler in 2 weeks' time. I think it's going to be a hot weekend again this weekend, isn't it?
I haven't looked ahead, actually.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty hot this weekend. It is in Manchester anyway. Joe says, is Steve getting salty about no whip thread coins made before the whip thread went up, but he hasn't read until after he's putting it up? Stop talking matrixy, Joe.
That is like whip threadception, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think maybe these are all jokes before it went up or something.
Nick wants to know more about the book you're editing.
You what?
Nick. Future Mrs. Page.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the book. Oh,
yeah. I hope I got that right, by the way, guys.
It is.
Barreling.
Yeah, no, they are. It's an academic book. It's the third one in a trilogy. It's our Cornetto trilogy. We've had Beasts of the Forest, then Beasts of the Deep, then Beasts of the Forest, and this one's Beasts of the Air. So different people have written chapters for it about. Normally some form of pop culture about things that live in the sea, things that live in the forest, and things that live in the sky. And I'm editing this one, which is a hellish process. And it all.
Are UAPs allowed?
Are UAPs allowed?
Yeah.
What's that?
UFOs. It's the new UFO.
Oh! Is that unexplained aerial phenomenon?
Yeah.
Yes, you could do. Yeah.
Oh, well, they just changed it again to include submerged things.
I don't know, have they?
I think so. Yeah.
Don't know. I like how the government spent See, it sounded like the US government spent about what was it? The best part of 70 years going, no, they're not real. And then they go, yeah, they're all real. They go, yeah, sorry, there's a bunch of stuff up there and we don't have a clue what it is.
It was pretty manic last week, wasn't it? Because there's some big kind of meet with all the main whistleblowers and things all come together and we're saying all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. What was the meetup thing called? They can't stop us all. Remember their Facebook group at Area 51? They can't stop all of us if we all charge. Can't stop all of us. They were really worried about it, weren't they?
Only some of us will die.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't edited a chapter on. There's three of us. I haven't edited a chapter on UFOs, but at the conference, we always start with a conference, so people deliver their papers and then they write book chapters about them. I think there was one about UFOs, but it's really cool, and so yeah, it's nice to be. It's nearly done.
Are you a believer
in UFOs?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I believe in UFOs, but I it's almost certain that there's life out there in the universe, isn't there? Because it's.
Yeah, I think we'd be naive not to think that, right?
Oh, and arrogant.
Yeah.
All you have to do is know how big our galaxy is, like down here. And
I seen a post today on Facebook. So it was what was it now? It was like a picture taken or something from the edge of the galaxy or something from some spaceship or space station or something. And it had like an arrow pointing to Earth, and it was a speck.
Yeah, it's preposterous.
Just a speck, like with this vast space behind it, and it's just like wowzers.
Whether or not there are little green men in flying saucers shooting around our sort of atmosphere is a different question, but yeah. I think there's probably life out there.
There's a bit of me that so my take on it is I don't think we're alone. I think there are definitely other planets like ours. Whether they are more advanced than we are and are flying around visiting other planets, that's a different conversation. I'm not sure that's the case, but I think there's things there, but I think they're probably ours. They've just not been revealed to be ours yet. and it's just in the age that we're in with camera phones and the internet. They've probably been around for a few years, but they're just getting spotted a lot more now. Because there'll be a lot of disinformation as well, won't there, if that's the case?
Yeah.
You know, like Mexican aliens in forklift trucks in people's back gardens and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's a good one, but there's got to be something. I love the X-Files growing up as well, so I've but some of the stuff's preposterous. Remember, I know they found a new black hole recently, but there was one a couple of years ago they found, and I remember reading about it on work, and honestly, I feel like I went home. Like, I remember reading the BBC News article and going, I don't really see the point in finishing the day. Like, you know, the numbers in it were so, they made you feel so utterly insignificant. I just googled it, and this isn't this one, because this was March 2023, but they found a black hole that has the mass of 30 billion. Our sun is 30 billion times bigger than our sun. Like 30 billion times bigger. It's like I can't. It's just stupid numbers.
It's mental, yeah.
And it was like, well, how big is that?
Yeah.
I can't.
I did a thing last week when it was all going on, because it just kept popping up on my thread on, you know, Reels on Instagram and Facebook. Because once you watch a couple, that's it. Then it just throws them at you.
Yeah.
And I went down this rabbit hole about the moon, and the fact that the moon, because we're told out, we're like, someone will know much more about this than me in the chat, but the moonlight is a reflection of the sun, so we're told, right? But apparently someone did an experiment last year or tested something, and it's not, so it's emitting its own light somehow from the moon.
Don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the moon.
You don't think it's there?
I think it's just the back of the sun.
Yeah.
On 100 points whenever he gets that reference.
Yeah, I wonder what's on the dark side.
There's a great movie. It's called something like it's from, I feel like it's 50s sci-fi or something, and it's going to be called what it says on the tin. So, and it's called like the other Earth or Other Earth or something, and it's that on the other side of the sun there's a mirror Earth.
Ah, yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
And so someone goes round.
Yeah.
They go round the sun, see what's on the other side of it, and they find the mirror Earth. But at the same time, because it's the mirror Earth, they've sent someone round to our side.
Yeah.
And I think it's years since then, but I think they don't know. They think they've got back to the Earth. But they don't realise, and it's just everything's backwards. And it's only, they like look in a mirror or something and have this kind of, oh my god, I'm on the wrong Earth. It's that moment. But that's what's behind the sun, another Earth.
Yeah. It's interesting. It ends up just frying your brain, doesn't it? The more you think about it.
You go up, you can also go down, and like the last thing in the world I want to do is make light of this, but obviously you know what's going on with this submarine.
Yeah, it's
and like or Titanic at the moment, and it was just looking at the numbers on that, where they had like they do the graphs of where the surface is, where divers swim, where like naval
13,000 feet, is it?
I think it's more, isn't it? It's 40,000.
Is it?
Can't remember. It's something like isn't it 4 kilometers? 4 kilometers.
There was a fella on a reel that I watched about it today, and I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. I don't think it's going to have a happy ending by the looks of it. But he was saying that the problem isn't finding them; it's getting it up.
Yeah. Because
of the weight of all the pressures pushing down to get it up.
It's 4,000 meters down. Yeah, 4 kilometers down.
Mental.
But like it's so much further than where a submarine would operate. And it's like that's just lunacy. It's just like, what are we? Like, how can? But yeah, you hope for the best. But
I can't get my head around how it's lost.
Well, none of the sort of normal tracking stuff you use works underwater, apparently.
Oh right, is that what I was going to say? Why have they not got tracking on it or something?
But anyway, I don't. It's a very, very sad story, and
yeah. Let's not bring the mood down. It's very sad. And
yeah, let us know. UFO streams of Middle Earth. Are we alone?
Let's start a new channel, mate. Let's start a new channel. We'll all get T-shirts with "I believe" on it. Yeah. I believe. and share on the back. It's a joke for the oldies there. Joe Achilles says, Steve, found that Instagram post with barbecue rub. That was awesome. You getting a shout out from the How to Barbecue Right man himself. And that sandwich looked pretty darn good. P.S. Don't forget to check the emails for more barbecue goodness pics. We will, mate. We will. And thank you very much. Yeah, it's really nice. I've literally just, I think I've got probably about a teaspoon left in that. So we do have UK suppliers of that now. So I'm going to pick some up, and he's got some other flavours, which is pretty cool.
I'm painting.
His podcast's pretty good as well. I'm addicted to his podcast.
You know what I held up? I'm painting like AMA as well as this Aragon. And I know I've said this on the street, I hate AMA and Theoden so much. Like the armour. I just can't.
Yeah.
Because it's the silver bit is basically just the grooves in his armour.
Yeah.
It's not even... you think that some of the bits are meant to be silver and some of the bits are red, but all the bits you can see are meant to be red, and the silver is meant to be the gaps. But you can't paint silver into gaps and shade it. It's just tough, man.
Yeah. The thought, if you put that in my hand now, the thought of me having to paint that now actually makes me vomit a little bit in my mouth. And do you know what? So I got the. I'll still call it the new AMA.
That's all relative.
the plastic kit of AMA that came out.
Yeah.
And even I don't think the plastic kit is as bad as the old metal ones. But I painted the face, photo mounted. I painted the face, and I've not touched them since. Because what I should have done was carried on painting that day. On that day, I should have carried on painting.
Yeah.
But the mistake I made was think to myself, right, I'll do the armour at the weekend.
Yeah.
And every time I just picked it up and looked at it, I just put it back down on my desk.
There's nothing wrong with the model, is it? It's just the scale. It's the scale is that bit has to be that thin.
Yeah, it's crazy. Matt Fry says, Adele's going to put 2 Bilbos in the whip. I'm off to bed, aiming for a 5:30 start at work. Oh, I'm up at 5:30. I'm streaming, mate. I'm streaming.
People
Lily and I will catch up at the weekend and finish our models. Snacks will be bought and consumed. Goodbye.
Love to hear it.
Frederick says to Zorp, oh my God, the Australian imposter is here. I know, he just copied our stream idea.
He did.
Jolsman says, perhaps you should just do it, Steve, and ask for forgiveness instead of waiting for permission. Up north is genuinely miles away, says Joe. Not a patch on Devon. Do you know what? I think I'm just sick of living in a city. Sick of it. We're actually on the outskirts. Where I live now is on the outskirts. We're like, if I go 10 minutes one way, I'm like in Manchester, and I go 10 minutes the other way, I'm sort of like farmland, countryside. So we're very lucky, but I'm just sick of living in a city. I think I want out, man. I want out. I didn't sign up for this. Lockie says it was a bit of a deal, but it's much more chill than moving from the UK. Melbourne as a kid, then up to Brisbane.
Oh, you went up to Brisbane. That's like several countries away. I've done that. I did like Sydney to Brisbane's about 14 hours or something.
That's grim, man. Did you have to do it in a ute?
In a what?
That's what they call it. Don't they call trucks utes in
know.
Australia? You know, I used to watch Neighbours. We're in the ute.
But also, I didn't hitchhike on a truck. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that would have been. You could have wrote a book about that, because all them films about like hitchhiking in the outback in Australia always ends up bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, like Wolf Creek.
Always ends up bad, man. There's some guy with a hat on and
I think how many things I'd have to do to get that. I'd have to decide I was going to hitchhike and then say the wrong thing, and then when the murderer stopped, say, "Can I get in your truck?" And he'd say,
"Ute."
He'd say, "I'm going to. Will you kill me in your truck, please?" And he'd say, "I'm going to kill you in my ute." No, we had a greyhound. Not like one dog that we rode on.
You know, the greyhound, get a dog.
Greyhound coaches. We had like a hop on and hop off for about 3 months, but it was like I think Sydney to Brisbane was like 14 hours, and then Brisbane to Cairns was 18 hours, and they're like the next city.
Yeah,
it's insane. That's where I read the Silmarillion for the first time, on greyhound coaches travelling around Australia. Absolutely.
Why did you spread it out so far?
It's not a pancake. They didn't like.
Why did you say like, let's just set a next town up over there, just over there?
It's crazy. I think because it's an island, people just don't. You hear island, and we live on an island, so you have some sort of concept. All right, it's not a continent, it's a continent, but it's an island, so it must be a certain size. And then you get there, it's so big.
Yeah. He says New Zealand is a 3-hour flight, and Melbourne to Brisbane is a 3-day drive. That is grim, mate. Martin Slate says, actually, I have my first non-GW event on Saturday at St Albans. And in true fashion, Army isn't ready. Have to stay at work late tomorrow. I'm rapidly running out of time. Wish me luck. You don't need it, mate. You just need a couple of overnights in the shed, and you'd be reet as rain.
Talking of sheds.
That's Tiberius. Sorry?
Talking of sheds. We're getting a garden room.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Nice.
As of next month, I believe. So it could
cold roof or warm roof?
Warm.
Oh.
But it could well be all changed for the Throne of Skulls hobby vlogs this year. I might be in a nice, well lit, heated space. Ruining it with polyfiller.
Yeah, getting glue everywhere.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait. You have to come down for a barbecue.
Are you going floating or are you going concrete base?
It's concrete pillars, I believe. So wooden frame base with concrete pillars.
Yeah. Nice,
it's a log cabin.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Prefab?
Yeah. Comes from Finland.
Oh.
But we searched around and most of them were completely out of our budget. Crazy money. You're talking like sort of 40-45 grand. Like crazy money to get anything bespoke. And then this is coming about half of that.
Yeah. Mental.
So it's insane the way things have gone. So
really cool. T Matt Tiberius says, greetings from the States. Can't stay long this evening because it's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, T Matt Tiberius' son.
Happy birthday.
He's out for an hour so I can get some paint on Bilbo before I make dinner. Good man.
Tiny Beers.
I hope you have a good time for the birthday, mate.
Can anyone help me out? AMR, is this scabbard like gold? Like bits on the end, or is it silver bits on the end?
When the end, do you mean the top or the bottom?
So like his scabbard's got a kind of he's got metal at each end of the scabbard.
Yeah, I think it's gold, isn't it?
Is it gold?
I think it's gold.
Someone let me know in the chat, will you? If you got a decent. If you got the same.
You know where you'll be able to see a good picture?
Is it in Google?
Battle Games Middle Earth.
Yeah, well I just looked through. None of them's got his sword. I've got the AMR issues out next to me and everything, mate.
I think it's gold around the top because it ties in with the hilt, doesn't it? The hilt that fits in. It's got like a little nice sort of moulded bit.
Turns out if you Google AMR scabbard.
Yeah. What was that cackle?
I was how to say, pleasantly surprised by one of the pictures that came out, but it's because I mistyped AMR as Woomer, so WOMER scabbard, which I presume it's read as woman scabbard.
Yeah, don't Google that.
Depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
Let's try that again for AMR scabbard.
Jolsman says the whip thread is indeed live. It went live at 9:01. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it was 9:01, not 8:30.
It is right. Gold.
Oh, what it was? I'll tell you why I got confused, because we were supposed to go live at 8:30. But then I remembered when I spoke to Damien yesterday or the day before that actually at 8:30 I would be picking up my youngest daughter from gymnastics at that time, so we couldn't have gone live. So that's what it is. John Monroe says young people don't use Facebook, Damien, just us oldies.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah,
very true.
Is it still all about the
if that's
gram
the case,
and
though,
TikTok?
why don't we just leave it alone and just leave us to it, to just wallow in our
Stop
Facebook?
adding new features, we don't want them.
Frederick says the whip thread went up with the stream, not 8:30. All right, God. Potato. Matt Odson says, I'm painting Bilbo and trying to assemble the Emperor rather than meetup army. Get it painted, lad. Frederick says, you mentioned being merry. Being merry at the meetup.
Good.
That's the difference thing, yeah. Katie says, same army I've been painting since Scouring in March, Halls of Shandle. I'm a very slow painter. It'll be worth it, and I'm sure it'll look awesome. Sam Page says, I'm driving over Saturday morning, happy to car share if you want. What night are we staying? What we staying? We're staying Friday night, aren't we?
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, nah, man. Sam, come on. Play the game.
Beers.
Mr. Stuart Bland is in. He says, evening, lads. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, Stuart. And your little family is looking absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, it's good to have you, mate. I think you've only been in once or twice before. Frederick says, did you write a thing about why here? Oh, this is your thing. UFO streams in Middle Earth. Sam?
No, my one's about fell beasts this time, actually.
Fell beasts. The fiendish forests of Middle Earth, Tolkien's trees as ominous adversaries.
Ha! That's someone's got Google. That's indeed the name of my chapter.
Quick Google scholar stalking. That's Frederick. Martin Slade says, we surely can't be alone in the universe just due to scale alone. Maybe elves and dwarves out there somewhere. Maybe. Jorsman says, wasn't it the janitor in Scrubs?
It was the janitor in Scrubs. 100 points. That's who says, I don't believe in the moon. I think it's the back of the sun. Furthermore, if you look closely at a monkey.
Michael Haskell says, love that we have Lockie's in New Zealand now putting up videos in that glorious landscape. And also Battle Camper Alex doing something similar with the glorious UK landscape. We're spoiled.
Yeah, I watched 2 of his today.
Do you know what? When I actually get time to sit down, I'm going to have an abundance of content to get through. Stop measuring things in body parts. Use real numbers, says Frederick. Charlesman says, just after I have broken the sound barrier, but you must never ask me how.
Yeah, that's the channel.
Would the intro music for UFO Streams in Middle Earth be Blink 182?
Well, it'd be Aliens Exist by Blink. Hey Mom, there's something in the back room. Hope it's not.
Imagine if he actually wasn't a mentalist and everything he said was correct.
Yeah, exactly.
All the songs would have different meanings. You think, oh, is this mentalist again? I quite enjoyed their armour. It was satisfying, says Joe.
Nope, you're wrong.
Mistake.
You're wrong and you're lying to yourself. Stop lying.
Gason says, maybe I'll meet my spouse at Ardicon this year then. But more seriously, looking forward to some fellow BSIMers at Ardicon. There'll be a load of us there. I say us, I don't think I'm going, but there'll be a load of BSIMers there.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Chris Murphy loves the banner because, you know, he's a horrible person. Larry Miller says, Damien, Steve, good to see you. 84 episodes. Who believe it? You haven't aged a day.
Thanks, babe.
Gosman says, because the majority of the island is literally unlivable.
That's why there's
a lot of things in Australia that scary. Aren't they? Like, you always see like videos, don't you, like in car handles or in someone's shoe or something. They poke a stick in and this big, huge creature comes crawling out.
Yeah, that's just lucky.
Paintbrush Pirate, B-Sam on a Wednesday. What trickery is this? That's how we roll. Nick Gardner's in. It's a 6-hour drive from, how do you say that? Is it Syracuse, New York? Is it Syracuse? Syracuse?
Syracuse? I don't know, maybe.
To the Nova Open. Syracuse. Is that how you say it, Nick? He says, if painting's invisible with Bilbo, I can't seem to find him. Look for a base. Look for a base, mate. Every drive is a 6-hour drive if you get lost enough, says Laurie. Matt Hudson says, I feel it would take something away from the blogs if it's in a comfortable environment. It would, mate. I agree. Nick Gannon says, I painted 2. Count them 2 Glathram nights. That's enough MESBG for the year. No, Nick. No. They are pink, Damien, says Laurie.
I don't think AMS Scoured is pink, Mr. Miller.
No. Nick Garner says it's all gold, but you'll have learned that by the time you read this.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I've got it, but you're quite right. It is gold. Gold.
Damien's Throne of Skulls journey vlog just won't be the same without the shed in the extreme cold in the foulest of nights section. So is it going in the place where the shed is? Are you knocking the shed down?
No, it's going next to the shed.
So you still actually could
do it in the shed
segment.
But it would be faking it, you know. I could go and get nice and warm in the other place, and then go in there.
You'd be like Bear Grylls, you know, like the thing that come out about the fact that he sleeps in hotels really and all that. Eats real food.
It was a bit like that last year, and I fessed up to it that last year I was out there and it was actually quite pleasant. You know, like last November or whenever it is, I was like, no, it's not that dark. I'm not that tired. It was dark. It's not that cold. It's not raining. I'm not that tired. It's quite enjoyable hobby at the moment.
Charlesman says, link to the wet statue of Ama in the Patreon chat, Damien.
Thanks, bud.
The bits on his scabbard are indeed gold.
Gold.
Kieran Townsend says, Steve, I've done the same thing with AIM. I started painting it and I haven't gone back to him. Yeah, it's just the thought of doing it all. Surely the UFO stream's intro tune would be the Foos. Yeah.
Learn to
mate.
fly? Is that is that what we'd be saying? Is it Learn to Fly? Oh, the Foo Fight. Oh, it's just the name of the band, isn't it? Mm.
Chat's done, mate. Nailed it, Anna.
Nailed it, crushed it.
Smashed it, Anna. Only just nailed it, and I got the shots. Got my feet up, you know. Right, okay. I'm gonna go and get a top-up drink.
Seems very sensible, my friend.
Because I've run out. Well, I haven't run out, but it's I've just, you know, when you get that bit, it's just like, it's Coke. It's just ice. It's melted ice that's a bit brown from the Coke.
What is your cola of choice though?
Pepsi, obviously, mate.
Full fat.
Although, I got a bottle of Pepsi just because we were streaming, and it was kind of in honour of you, really.
Thanks, babe.
I got Pepsi, but yeah,
I got Moretti in honour of you.
I prefer Popsy. I prefer Pepsi over Coke.
Yeah, obviously.
But when I don't buy a lot of full fat fizzy drinks, I tend to get the sugar free stuff, and I far prefer Coke Zero to Pepsi Max.
Yeah, well, I think they're all. Foul. I think all of those are evil.
Pepsi Max is foul. Coke Zero, when you've had a couple, is not too bad. Martin Slate says, gents, which spell in MESPG would you say is your favourite, and which spell do you like the least?
Which spell?
Spell, yeah.
Oh, do you know what, Martin?
I quite like
3.5 years. I don't think we've been asked that.
No, my favourite, I think, would be Command, because I just like the fact that it can. I've been caught out by it loads of times. You know, when you think you've done everything that you need to, and you think, haha, I've covered all bases here. You can't touch me, and then they go, 2 dice command that guy in front of your Azog, and I'll knock him off the warg, and I go, ah. And my least favourite spell is probably Command for the same reason when it's against him. I think. What about you?
I think if it was, I don't play competitively at all really anymore. But certainly in the old edition, Command was the best spell in the game.
Yeah.
There was someone really. I'll tell you where it was at the Warhammer World Quiz. You know, have you been there when they do the subjective round where Jay says a statement and every team has to vote for whether it's true or false?
Yeah.
And then you get a mark if you vote for what the majority voted for.
Yeah.
One of them was Immobilize is the best spell in the game. And some people going, yeah. And I was like, it can't be, because Command is literally a better version of Immobilize.
Yeah. Command is Immobilize with bells on.
And it's like, if this is true, the room is a moron.
Yeah.
And I think thankfully it was false. But yeah, Command like won in the old edition with Saruman. Command won me game after game after game when it used to half the fight value.
Yeah.
Best spell.
I hate Chill Soul as well. You know, when you're playing against a Necromancer.
I think Blinding Light is very, very good.
It is very good.
For it's an infuriating spell to play against.
Yeah, I think with Blinding Light though, you've got that thing where yes, you're right in what you say, and with certain armies where the list has been built to be a shooty army, it kind of negates it. But I think in general, if your opponent has Blinding Light, just on a general list build that might have a third bows in it, you can still play the game in a different way. But I think Command can just ruin your day. You know, you paid the points. You want this whether it's your leader or whether it's just your big beat stick mounted to do a lot of work in the game, and turn 2 or 3, he gets knocked off his warg or his horse by a lowly infantry model because your opponent's moved him in that line of sight. It's so frustrating.
I'll tell you what was really good fun last year.
At the same time, it's fun as well. It's great.
It was really good fun last year. When I was using the Black Riders, Instill Fear. It's the new one for the new edition that I hadn't really looked at. And even when it's a normal ring wraith or whatever, you don't seem to get it. But when you got the Black Riders with the -2, -3 courage buff, that can be game winning because you just move up, cast that, and they all just leave.
Yeah.
And what that means is because they move. I think it's a full move away. They then can't move again, and you get to charge. So suddenly you've only got your 9 models, but 2/3 of their army can't move.
Yeah.
And that's really good. The other one that's absolutely wretched is Paralyze.
Yes.
Just because of how easy it is for the things to cast it, I think. I would say the worst one, hands down, is Flame Burst. Because it's just a worse version of Sorcerer's Blast.
Yeah.
That would without going back through all of them, I think Flame Burst is the one that I've never ever used. We engineered in the is it here? Have we got the latest one in? No, I don't know where my 13 is. But in the latest SBG, we engineered a situation where Saruman's attacking Edoras, and so we decided he could burn down buildings. We engineered a situation to allow him to use Flame Burst. We found like a point for it. But I'd probably say Flame Burst. Yeah. You for the worst?
I don't think I've read that one.
You don't think you what?
Not read that one, have I?
Well, it depends. Have you ordered it? Have you got it in the last month or so?
No.
Probably send you one.
I was just waiting for that postman every day.
Yeah. We send them to you if you make us a video, but
yeah. You think you've got friends in high places. And,
your output just seems to have dropped, doesn't it? I'll tell you. Do a video on this channel.
I know, yeah. I will. I'll get back to it. Worst spell. Oh. So what are some of the random ones called that are on the? Like the
Let's have a look.
The backup sort of shamans. The.
What, you sort of wither and that sort of thing. Reduce the target strength by 1.
You got wither's pretty good, and what's the one? You do
Tremor.
The line.
Are you thinking of Tremor? Tremor's good.
That's pretty good as well. But isn't there, what else do they get? They get one that's a bit naff that no one's ever used. There's another one. I don't use a lot of magic in the game.
I'm just going through them now, seeing if there's ones that make me think they're rubbish. Flame Burst, definitely rubbish.
Yeah, Flame Burst is now.
Fortify Spirit, very good. That's a good question.
I mean, by design, they all should be good for different reasons, shouldn't they, really?
Would we say maybe Fury's taken a bit of, it's taken a bit of a hit in the.
Well,
in this
I almost said Fury a minute ago, but then I thought, well, no, actually, because it's quite good. Because if you get it off on that one turn when you really need it,
it's probably kind of better because it's not as good as it was, but people used to hate it. Like every kind of Orc and Uruk-hai and Goblin army used to double up on Fury in the old edition with the saves.
Yeah, 2 shamans.
Collapse rocks. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
Collapse rocks. The power targets one enemy model within range. This power may only be cast on a model that is within a ruin, stone or brick building, cave, rock pile, or another similar piece of terrain, where a wizard could crack rocks either underfoot or undead.
How sort of a similar piece of terrain? I mean, that's asking for trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, but then the whole point is the target suffers 1 strength 5 hit. Meanwhile, Sorcerer's Blast, it's the Flame Burst thing all over again. Sorcerer's Blast is a... Where's that gone? Is a strength 5 hit and fires them backwards.
But what's Collapse Rocks cast on if you're a Gandalf?
No, I don't know.
Is it easier to cast, though? It must be easier to cast. I think it's just a watered-down version, isn't it, like you say?
Now, if you get channeled, if you're playing a moron, right?
Yeah.
And they've... How would you have to do it? They've moved all of their army into a ruin.
Mm.
And then you declare a channeling with Gandalf. And they go, I won't heroic move. Well, maybe they can't heroic move. And there's just 10 warriors in a building. Then channeled Collapse Rocks.
Yeah.
Do you know I use that in it's in issue 12. We use it in Barlin's Tomb.
Mm.
Like we actually felt, I was like, oh my god, Channel Collapse Rock could be game winning here. And it was.
Could you, if you were playing a scenario in Balance 2, could you basically cast that anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's every model, isn't it? All models, friend and foe, within 2 inches. But there's a bit in again, I won't reveal too much, but it was like, oh my god, we could legit use Channel Collapse Rocks in a fantastic way. But yeah, that's pretty awful. You never see people using that. But let us know. SBG discussion, what are we up to?
Yeah.
You love to see it.
We better start making a move. It's nearly 10:30. I'm going to go and get a drink, mate.
Yep.
The chat's kicked off again. So what I'll do is I'll go and get a drink. Do you want to work through the chat?
Yep, I'll finish these little silvers on AMA and then I'll jump
Joe Holzman just said Foo Fighters are named after an old
I got it.
UFOs, yep. And then it's on from there. Stupid Clean asking, has anyone tried the new Pepsi Mango? No. I haven't. I don't know if I would.
I love mango and I love Pepsi, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think I want them.
Right, I'll be back in a minute. I won't be long.
All right. Yeah, let us know in the chat about your spell preferences. Best spell, worst spell. We'll see what you say. Horrible model. So do look out for this guy, this AMR, in issue. Where is he? There he is. In issue 14 of SBG. The plan is for him to have 2 quite considerable close-ups, and when he's there, have a look at him and be forgiving with his paint job, and just remember that he was being painted on the stream for your benefit. Alright, bit of mint swirl. Mint swirl. 35 yen on a Wednesday evening, you love to see it. There we go. Joe Holzman. My favourite spell is Collapse Rocks because it's utterly useless. He prefers Pepsi Max to all of them. He says, speaking of spells, at the risk of mag spoilers, in the back rep from this issue, they say, get a wraith to compel Bilbo to put on the ring. They do. I mean, I thought that. And are you going to point out that we can't do that? I think that's a change in compel. You're absolutely right. And I didn't think you could make models do things like that. Yeah, I think it's changed. Rebel-based gaming as I live and breathe. Hello, late to this party. Speaking of party, Steve, what do you prefer, bass or treble? I think he's all about the bass, no treble, isn't he? I can only presume that's Johnny, lurking behind the Rebel-based gaming moniker. Good to see you, sir. Michael Haskell, gosh. A bit of serious gameplay content right now. Best spells now. The stream is always full of surprises and curveballs. Well, absolutely. Joe Holzman, is this a message? Nope, it's nothing to do with this. Alright. Joe Holzman, personally I prefer COD to the base. The bass. That's good. And Rebel Base Game says, I've just finished playing COD, which I can only presume is Call of Duty. Katie says Collapse Rocks, presumably for her favourite spell? You're being ambiguous here. Johnny says Cool Wins. Joe Holzman. Yeah, the problem here is, guys, is you're not making it clear whether you think these are the best spells or the worst spells. Joe Holzman.
I think I was talking about best. If you just
be, Katie thinks the best spells Collapse Rocks. Johnny Wright thinks the best spells Cool Wins, which is, I think, surprising for a top table player like he is, but you know. Joe Holzman says, I use Collapse Rocks at every opportunity. It's never achieved anything. Martin Slight, I both love and hate Blinding Light, as you both love and hate yourself, because you can need it against a particular bunch of Athelian hooligans, for example, but I hate that I need it in the first place. Yeah. Matt Hudson, Fury and Awe of Command is so good. Sincerely, low courage army players, indeed. Real West Game says Wrath of Brunnen on a snowboard is technically incredible. Is that because everything's a water feature? Is that what that would mean?
Okay. Frozen water.
That's gamey as sin.
Oh, these are good.
Yeah. Joe Holzman says, you need to channel it, Damien. It still does nothing, but it now does nothing to multiple targets. I think that's Collapse Rocks. Matt Hudson, channeling is the best because you have to throw 2 dice, and if you roll a 2, you can't mite it. That's Fury? Yeah, that must be for Fury. Matt Hudson, so you get an expensive spear support. He said, yeah, quite. I mean, I used to, again, in the old version of the game, I'd always have a Uruk-hai Shaman. I sometimes took 2, and it was always that. Guys, it was channel, Fury, 2 dice, and once a tournament, you'd get a 1 and a 2. Yeah. And you'd have an Uruk with a spear. And a transfix in them at some point. Joe Holzman says, channel Collapse Rocks against Harry Moore's Angmar list in a game at Ardacon. How did it get on? Paintbrush Pirate, wonder how a TO would rule Collapse Rocks on a Goblin Town board. You could cast it anywhere, you're in a cave. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Or a Erebor board. Anything that's meant to have a roof, presumably.
The problem is at tournaments, there are no Erebor or Goblin Town boards. They're just boards, aren't they? Just mats with terrain on. So you could argue and say, well, it's not Goblin Town. It's just got Goblin Town terrain on it.
It's Goblin Towny.
Yeah, it might be a towny, but.
A towny. That's a phrase I haven't heard in years.
Towny. I was get called a towny by the grammar school girls.
Bet you did, you scum.
They loved it.
Did they? They loved it, so they called you a townie.
Yeah.
My
little townie, you just call it.
What townie?
My little townie.
My little townie, like My Little Pony.
Yeah.
But with townies.
I'm not a townie, by the way.
Are you a pony?
No.
Congratulations. Joe Kelly, I have to pop away for a bit to pick up my kids. What are you picking up your kids for at 10:30 at night, Joe? That's too late, man. Too late. But I have a question. Any info on new releases? I haven't heard anything here in the States since the Get Off the Road news 2 months ago. Can you guys or anyone in the chat share some info or rumours? Feels like it's been ages since a release. Been spending my hobby money on Weta mini epics instead of GS, presumably GW models lately.
Wish we could, man.
No, it's nothing. It's just, as far as I know, it's only Get Off the Road, which has been announced. I think we addressed this a couple of months ago, and it was weird then, and it's weird now. It's like anyone who's been watching streams will know we're super positive. Like we've always got a very positive outlook on things, but it's clearly odd.
You think it's something to do with didn't the IP rights get sold?
Yeah, Embracer bought the rights to, I think it's the Universal merchandising of Lord of the Rings or something, and then they own everything that licenses everything or something. So I don't know. It could be. I think there's 3 things it could be, if I'm honest. I think it could be the old world, meaning that Specialist Game Studio have less resource. I think it could be that they've got the Rings of Power license and they've shelved everything and are working on that. And I think it could be the Embracer Group. And that they might have some issues with the licensing. Could be that they have to change all the packaging or something because of who their license is with, and they can't release anything.
I'll just get it all checked over and.
Yeah, but that's pure speculation. And there are what the only thing I'll put my foot down on because it makes me angry. There are no rumors. These aren't rumors. This is me. This is speculation, yes. And there are no rumors.
It's uneducated guesses.
The only thing you can do is go and read up about the Embracer Group buyout and what that might mean for licensee holders. That's the only thing you can do. But we don't know.
Seems the most likely, doesn't it?
Saying it's not weird, I think is silly, because there's clearly been a long pause between releases.
Yeah.
I believe not at that Ardacon thing. I think there was they did a Q&A. No, not Ardacon. What was it? Warhammer Fest. There was a Q&A afterwards, and apparently one of the guys there said, "There's loads of stuff coming. I've seen it, and it's really cool."
Mm.
Enola.
Yeah.
So hopefully soon.
We'll see. Have faith.
Yeah. Larry says, I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now. I wish you all a very fond farewell. Goodbye. That's all very sensible for Larry to pop out at 10:30, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like him as well.
Joe Holzman says, no news of any kind since they revealed that diorama. Joe Kelly says, no rumours even. And Joe says, thought they said stuff was incoming, they couldn't announce quite yet. They said something like that.
Yeah.
They've seen there's cool stuff coming. They can't do anything about it. Joe says they did. That was the last thing they've said about any new releases at all. Stuart McLean says, "Panic Steed, no roll required. Get off your mount." Is that a kind of thematic thing of saying don't worry about the?
Still got a quest there, haven't you?
I think he might be making a themey kind of thing of like mounts of cheats or something.
Oh.
Chris Murphy, for me, Fury has always been about the courage, never the state. He is, but
yeah,
you,
same.
You, my friend, and you, my friend, use goblins, where the courage was huge. Whereas I was using ferals and berserkers, where in the old edition the 5+ save.
Yeah.
Because when you lost a 5-point model, it didn't matter. When I lost a
4 point, mate. 4 points. I think you're fine.
Yeah. Are they 4? Are they 4? Oh, Goblin Town, yeah. But when I lost a 15-point model, like saving a third of them every time was massive.
Yeah, it's like, I've killed 20 goblins, and I'm like,
and
that's on. Well done killing a 4-point model with that 50-point model that you paid for.
Johnny says, I'm hoping this was when you were also under 18, Steve.
Yeah, I was about 14, 15, secondary school.
I think he said that it wasn't what were we saying, the grammar school girls, was it?
Yeah.
The grammar school girls aren't calling you a townie now.
So we used to have a park. I say well, my secondary school's not there now, but there used to be a park that was probably a 5-minute walk, and on the other side of the park was grammar school. That's where we used to go.
Sorry?
We learnt all our chat up lines there.
What, from like birds and stuff?
Yeah.
I meant like flying birds.
Oh, no, not them. No.
You take a bottle of White Lightning down the park.
I think you'll find it was Old English.
Sit underneath a slide.
3-litre bottle of Old English between about 70 kids.
Nothing like it. It was a 2-litre bottle. It was always a 2-litre bottle for us. 2-litre bottle.
Yeah. It was a 3-litre bottles. It was a massive lid, so when you took it off and a drink, it'd go all over you.
Ah, White Lightning.
Is that what you were on, White Lightning?
I mean, very early on. For some reason, I feel like the offies would sell White Lightning to kids in a way they wouldn't sell anything else. Like,
you can't have that. But we can have
alcohol. Yeah.
I think we used to get the old English and go to the park because I think we just got it because it was the only one that came in 3-litre bottles, and it was like the same price for.
My earliest memories of drinking with friends were White Lightning for sure in parks, because you couldn't go into a pub. It was outside, and someone had managed to get a 2-litre bottle or something.
Good old days, eh?
Yeah, simpler times. There we are in our own houses drinking nice beer from glass. Rubbish. Rubbish. Michael Haskell, when I first started watching GBHL YouTube content, now there was a channel some years ago, I seem to recall strong anti-shaman vibes from certain Palantir presenters. We had in the Seven Stones rules pack as a badge of honour. This will tell you any sort of new players here who won't remember the old edition.
I remember this.
You what?
I remember this.
Do you want to guess what it is? Do you want to
say? Didn't you say something along the lines of, you're more than welcome. It's up to you if you want to bring a shaman.
It was that in the rules pack. I can't remember what year we started, but it said we'd never had a shaman. So we never banned shamans, but the intro to the rules pack was said like, for the last 4 years, no one's ever brought a shaman.
Yeah.
And that was a big enough deal in that edition to kind of write as like, you'd always have a shaman, there'd always be shamans, but at Seven Stones, no one had ever brought one.
I think that's the thing. I think anyone who's come into the game since the new edition, or the current rule set, I don't think they realised how prevalent shamans were back in the day.
It was a little bit like cheating.
And you could pretty much have them. So I used to run Goblin Town, and you were able to ally in Moria with no penalty.
Yeah.
So if you remember, I used to have I had 3 converted Goblin Town models.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, at least you bothered to convert them.
Yeah.
Because then you were like, oh, it's themey. It's themey.
I even did Warg Marauders. I had Goblin Town.
Yeah, I remember.
Goblins hanging off Wargs, and I'd have them as.
Because they were
Warg
filth
Marauders.
as well, weren't they?
Huh?
They were filth as well.
Absolute filth, mate.
But that's what Murphy will be talking about. Murphy will be talking about his Goblin Town army and having Moria Shamans for sure. He was doing the same. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
But yeah, amazing. It was a bit. I felt it was a bit like cheating. If you came up against a ring wraith with Sat Wheel, they were crap. Against everything else, you were so likely to cast it, and then hide your goblin.
I think I used to if anything up to 600 points, I'd bring 2 shamans, and anything over, I'd bring 3.
I always had 1 or 2. I think I added a second one above about. This is for the Urka list. I added a second one.
I used to just think. At that, it was very rare. I couldn't get Fury off to charge the terror causing stuff.
Yeah.
And you can just take out the game by just being able to charge tons of goblins in.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Loved it. I think there actually is a battle report on the GBHL where I went down to James's basement. Remember, he used to do the battle reports in his basement, and I had my Goblin Town with shamans, and he had his Eagle army, Gwaihir, and Eagles. And I'm pretty sure I tabled him and only lost about 3 goblins.
So it all pierces strike, right?
Yeah.
I bet they all had axes, didn't they?
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
and 2-handed, don't need him.
2-litre bottle of White Lightning, Fury with Moria Shamans, and piercing striking. What a time to be alive.
It was awesome. I also had the Undying in that list.
The Undying, what a combo.
Undying on Felbeast.
Joe Holzman says collapse rocks against Harry's Angmar. It killed 1 orc and failed to kill 5 others. Frederick said the lack of new release could also be related to War of the Rohirrim. It could be. I think that's less likely, but your speculation is as good as my speculation.
Yeah.
Chris Mervitt says, I do fail a lot of courage tests with the goblins these days as a karma for my past. And Frederick says, isn't that it? Which I presume means War of the Rohirrim, supposed to be released next year. Maybe we'll get a new supplement for that. Maybe. I think because it's anime, it never occurred to me that they might do anything to tie in with it. I always thought they'd be more likely to tie in like the live action
similar
Rings
thought
of Power.
process to you with that.
You what?
I'm a similar thought process to you.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Joe Holzman, I was wondering if the fact the Embracer Group bought the rights meant there was a temporary delay in anything getting approved while the purchase was sorted out, resulting in no. Yeah, that's kind of what I think, or a packaging thing, like
that's like the common sense.
Because there's also there's a legitimate terrifying thing. You could be saying they've got it and they decided no more releases and they don't want to. It's probably unlikely, but it's possible for sure.
It's possible, but why would they do that?
But equally, when you look at, it says like all the sprues say, what do they say on a new line or whatever. So it's quite possible that stuff is ready to go, like packaging and sprues that they can't release now because legally it's not got the right thing on it.
Yeah.
And so I reckon maybe there's a whole ton of scrapped like packaging somewhere that's being redone. I think, but I don't know. Frederick Schultz, my earliest days of drinking was at 14, 15, drinking beer, Radler. What's Radler?
Must be a German thing.
Because there was always someone around who was 16. You drink at 16? Cool. Joe Holt, I mean, not cool. Don't drink it. Drinking's bad. Joe Holzman, having said that, I'm no expert in licensing and have done absolutely zero reading to do, as have most people who are telling you they're experts in licensing. Here we go. Radler is 50-50 beer
Shandy.
lemonade.
Shandy. Of course it is.
50-50. Remember a snakebite?
Snakebite,
I used to love a snakebite at uni.
Do you ever have that MD 2020? We used to got like Mad Dog 2020.
That sounds like something you clean your shower head with.
I can't remember if it was actually called Mad Dog 2020 or if it was just called MD because MD, we just called it Mad Dog. It come in different flavors. I think it was like a. I don't know what. I don't actually know what it was.
Just drank it, mate.
Drank it, mate.
Snakebite was the absolute staple of our students' union.
Just sounded cool, didn't it, when you're that age?
Yeah, well, it was not. It was nice as well. I remember it. It was because it was like basically half a lager, half a cider, and blackcurrant, and then you got cider and black, which I think they started doing when the law changed that they couldn't mix alcohol.
Yeah.
I think there was that. But Snakebite used to be £1.50 a pint in my union, and by the end of it, everyone was red because there was blackcurrant stain. But yeah, that's what my uni years were. Drinking Snakebite. It's great. An Aftershock. Remember Aftershock? I know you still make it.
I do, yeah.
That was because that launched around like late 90s, right? I think. Yeah. Which is when we were starting to drink, and it was cool to have, like, everyone wanted a bottle of Aftershock at your house party.
Yeah.
And do you remember I don't know if it was regional, but the way you had to drink it.
Aftershock's still about though, right?
Yeah, you can still get it now, but I don't know if people do. But there was a thing that you had to like gargle it and all that. Do you remember this? You would like
it rings a bell
to do it properly.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
You had to like gargle it for like 10 seconds, then swivel it around your mouth for 10 seconds, and then vomit. And then vomit. Yeah. Simpler times. Frederick says, my first time at Ardcon 2018, I had a Mordor Uruk High shaman for my Mordor Uruk army. Oh, as in a Mordor Uruk High shaman, so he was an orc shaman. Mordor Uruk with a spear, some skulls, etc. That's cool, so he converted it. Michael Haskell, sparked by the cider conversation. Oh, here we go. Haskell's youth. We spent our youth wanting to be older, and then when we're there, we wish we were younger. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Yeah. That's it. I told Charlotte that. She was like, I can't wait to be older. I was like, don't grow up. It's a trap.
Yeah. It's grim.
It's rubbish. And then here it comes. Johnny says, true story, Michael. Frederick says, Radler es kein Alkohol is a common German saying. He goes, stupidly, Snakebite at uni, great times. It's much easier to down for some reason. Yeah, it was tasty. Frederick Schultz, German life hack against hangovers. Drink a Sprite after drinking a few beers. Your stomach will create Radler, and Radler ist kein Alkohol. What's kein mean?
Weaker?
Or good? Or not? Let us know. What's kein, Frederick? Morgan Morris is in. He says,
on average, is cider stronger than lager? I don't drink cider.
No, I think it's. Well, I mean, it depends, obviously.
Whenever I have drunk cider, I've got extremely drunk, and I don't know if that's because I don't normally drink cider or because it's stronger.
Don't know.
But that's one reason why I don't drink cider.
Do you know what, mate? It's probably unlikely, but I would be relatively confident in saying I don't think I've ever had a cider.
No,
I've tasted it. I couldn't
drink a pint of cider.
No, I've tasted it, but I've you know what I mean. I've probably had one over the years, but I would never knowingly order a cider. Morgan Morrison, he says, evening everyone, late to the party tonight, and talking about needing a drink, I'm going to go and get a beer, and then perhaps we can look at a magazine. Yeah,
well, it's 10 to 11, so we'll have to do magazine and Facebook stuff. I'll carry on with the chat. Where it is. Was he at the end, did he say? Was it just commenting? Morgan Morris. Kind means no, not, as in it is not, blah, blah. So... Yeah, but it still has alcohol, it's just weaker in it. But is it more of a sort of tongue-in-cheek? It's not alcohol, wink, wink, wink. Sean says, drinking white cider and in all futility trying to make it taste better by adding Vimto. Pretty much like Damien said, I have drank cider. I've drank Snakebite, and I think I've been places and someone's bought me a pint of cider. But I don't think I've ever bought myself a pint of cider. I just don't. I don't know. I'm not keen on it. It tastes odd. But when I have, I've been very drunk. Joe says, I remember the days of Snakebite, also the days of £1 a pint. I remember the days of 50p a drink. Student.
It was a stock market. We used to have a stock market at the union where they would have like the prices, and this would be on chalkboard. It wouldn't be on an electronic screen, but they'd have the prices of the with all the drinks on, and if everyone started buying the same thing, the prices of the other drinks would go down. And then the prices would change every live. So then you'd buy what everyone else wasn't drinking, and then the prices, and then that would kind of go up, and everything else would go down. It's cool, and it just, I mean, it's cool. It just made everyone mix their drinks and get horrendously drunk.
Joe says, anyway, I best be off. We'll catch up on Friday. Good night, everyone. Take care, mate.
Night, Joe.
Hudson says, enjoy Breakfast Club, Joe. Ooh, grim. Cider, as a rule, says Michael Haskell, I believe, is stronger than beer. I do like a cider, but not as often as I used to. And there you go. That explains the drunkenness. Frederick confirms, yes, it is a joke. It's satire. Stuart McLean says, it's hard to order snakebite now without very odd looks. East kind of joke. Michael Haskell says, I can't recall how much a pint was when I was at uni, but I'm pretty sure it was well less than a pound. Heck, less than £1. Jeez. But all the prices have gone up again, haven't they, for beer?
Oh, everything, mate.
Recently. It's crazy.
I've got to remortgage next summer. It's meant to be coming down. It's not. Terrified.
All that happens in all is like, here's how inflation works in my head. Someone proved me wrong. Basically, the price of everything goes up. We all moan about it. Then we get used to paying it. And they promise it's going to come down, and it just doesn't, and we're all used to paying it. It just becomes the norm.
Things have gone up and slightly come down over the course of my life, I think. But I was saying this to Emma a few months ago. I was like, the prices that things have shot up to, like building materials in particular, but like fuel and food.
Fuel is crazy.
That's never coming down.
No.
I can't. I don't believe that in 10 years, if everything is sorted, we're going to be going back to those prices. I think. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of terrifying. This isn't temporary.
So here's the thing: why would it? Because everyone's paying for it.
Exactly.
Everyone's buying it still now in excess. And it's like timber. So the prices of timber all went up. We know why during COVID and that bloody shit getting stuck in the Suez Canal and all that. Prices of timber went through the roof because you just couldn't get hold of it. And don't worry, it will come back down. It hasn't, and it hasn't because as tradesmen, we've just passed that price increase on to our customers, and it's busier now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
They're still paying the extra money, so why would suppliers then go, do you know what? Don't give us all that money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 30%. That's not going to happen.
Terrifying.
Why would it? So. Anyway, we've been UFO streams in Middle Earth. We're now political
snakebite streams in Middle Earth.
Yeah, snakebite streams. There is a stream idea, my friend.
Snakebite streams.
That's legs. Let's do it, mate. Let's get in it.
You know what? 3 years ago, I remember. I think I remember because I didn't go back and re-listen to it. I think we talked about looking through this. And we decided not to, because at that point the idea of it's only episode 12, right? The idea of jumping around was all kind of a bit foreign to us, and we were like, should we? At that point, what were we on, like issue 8, and we're like,
we didn't know anything about structure.
Well, we were like, we might not ever get to 62.
Yeah.
So
let's be honest. I don't think we did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You hope you get to the next one, don't you?
I remember us having conversations. Go, ooh, imagine if we, I remember it seeming like this stage was way off, way off.
But everything, I'm sure. I mean, in the last 3.5 years, we've talked about everything, surely. But I'm sure we've mentioned this before. But you'll probably never know. It's like the Palantir, right? You watch Palantir 99, and it says we'll see you in 2 weeks. There was no sense in which there would never be a 100th one.
Yeah.
And so right now we don't know if we'll get to 63 because that's just how this works. It's very, very unlikely, I think, that
aliens could come out.
Maybe, And so certainly at that point we didn't know. But I feel like we said, shall we look through that issue? We went, no, we won't. We'll just do Bilbo. So we haven't been through this. Steve.
Yeah. You gonna say it?
What?
You can say what I think you're going to say.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. Go on. I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx it.
I didn't finish it.
Oh, right. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
We confirmed this yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Confirmed the stream yesterday. I've read about 2/3 of it. I've read the meaty stuff.
Make you feel better.
You've read none of it.
I've read zero. I've literally just got it off the shelf before we started streaming. So this is all new to me.
At least you got it there.
I do know what's in it though. I had a quick and I went, yeah.
Well, I've been through the juicy stuff, and then I'll pass over to you for the hobby content, right? So indeed, we have Bilbo Baggins, played by the wonderful Ian Holm. I think for the first time in a while, we don't really have a character playing SBG, do we? He's not really. He doesn't look like he's playing that game. I think we've broken the immersion there somewhere. But then, of course,
he could be looking at Gandalf in his car and going, "I've got the ring. I ain't giving it you, mate." Maybe
it's a priority marker.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got the ongoing War of the Ring campaign. So we have the Fellowship breaks at Amon Hen.
Mm-hmm.
So inside, unlike most hobbits who are content with a simple life of home and hearth, Bilbo Baggins developed a taste for adventure. It was on his journeys with the wizard Gandalf that he had his fateful encounter with Gollum and the Ring of Power. And we have the iconic quote, "I spent all my childhood pretending I was off with you on one of your adventures," from Frodo.
Yep.
And they even do ... because that's not the full quote. They've got the ellipsis in there. I spent all my childhood pretending I was... What have they cut out of that? They've obviously omitted something from it.
Mm-hmm.
The reality was somewhat harsher. And Bilbo is an adventurous hobbit who counts elves, dwarves and wizards among his friends. And that is the model. There he is. The classic. And I painted him on the last stream.
It's a great mini.
Yeah. I painted him on the Bilbo stream. I painted my metal original Bilbo. Have you got him? Have you done him?
Yeah, I painted him. The one I've got with the book, I painted when this magazine was released.
Oh, that's nice.
And for years, and I mean, I'm not exaggerating, for years, it was the best model I ever painted. And I'm talking even years after, when my painting skills improved. For some reason, I don't know why, I followed the guide, which we'll come to. He came out amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
He came out better than what my painting skill level was at that time.
It's tiny as well. I mean, the hobbits are tiny, right? They really are. The scale on them is incredible.
I think it was the sculpt helped loads. Like, the face is amazing. So much detail on it. It just, for years, that was my best painted model.
Awful in the game, though, right?
Terrible, never used it.
Has anyone ever... What would he be in the old... Would he be Free People's?
Yeah.
Because I feel like most things, he's probably got...
There was just no reason to ever use him, was there?
He's like a Wanderer in the Wild, isn't he, in the old edition? Yeah, there he is. Bilbo, he was 90 points. 90 points. 1 might, 3 will, 3 fight 3, strength 3, defense 5. That's with his bonuses. 2 wounds, and 90 points. And he's got the ring, and he was subject to all the bad ring rules. Has anyone ever used him? Like I'm not counting. Oh god, that's ruined. I'm not counting Seven Stones or themey stuff or anything like that. Has anyone ever used him?
Genuinely put him in a list.
Yeah, like a serious army. Oh, my army's
looking at the army book and thinking he's 90 points. He must be really good.
I don't actually. Army's Lord of the Rings is next door, sadly, but I don't have his new profile. But I don't think he's been like souped up for the new edition. But yeah, let us know. That's not you reaching for an Army's Lord of the Rings, is it?
No, it's me getting a piece of foam to put on my desk so that my heels don't hurt when the rest are on the table when I put them up. Yeah, boy.
Classic townie.
Townie behaviour.
That's why the girls used to chase you around. You know that Steve Crow would never risk his heels.
My little townie.
Anywho, we then move on, and we are not into Bilbo Baggins territory. We're into the final stage of the Fellowship of the Ring campaign.
Yeah.
And they actually do make it clear that you're not going to get 2 towers for a while. While this playing the game marks the end of the first section of the Lord of the Rings, we'll be continuing the story in future packs. And a few pages later, With the Fellowship broken, the Ringbearer must continue his journey with only his companion training. Meanwhile, the remaining heroes must take the fight to the enemy. Moving on to the beleaguered lands of Rohan, the Lord of the Rings campaign returns soon with the Two Towers, allowing you to tell the story of the ring, making choices that will determine the battles you fight and the fate of your hero. So I think we're going to get a little gap in the campaign for a while, but it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
I think we need it. I think the starting to get a bit samey.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's probably why they broke it up, right?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they come up with for next issue.
Yeah, who knows?
So special campaign rules. They still use the Shadow of the Ring. Some of your heroes might have been killed, and then there's this tantalising glimpse. So we've just left Moria. We left Moria in the last issue. That says some of your heroes might have died, and you will have the chance to recoup some of these losses by recruiting additional heroes. It's kind of cool. So we have the Crossing the Silverlode scenario, which is cool. That's the one from Pack 35, which we've looked at in the past. So we've got
way back.
We've got a lovely picture there that doesn't, I think, represent that at all. Oh no, actually, hang on. I'm getting this confused. I'm getting this confused with the one that's in Quest of the Ringbearer, or the Escape from Lothlorien one, where they're running away from goblins. This is the one. Do you remember where they have the huts in the trees? Remember the trees that we built with the bridges between them and Galadriel's up in the tree? It's this one, so possibly in that one they do run towards goblins. So it's the same as that, but if Galadriel's already part of the Fellowship, then Celeborn becomes, in the scenario, instead of Galadriel. And if Haldir has been a member of the Fellowship, then an elven captain armed with a bow takes his place. And if the good side wins this scenario, are you ready for this? The Fellowship have managed to enter the realm of Lorien, and you should proceed to Gifts of the Elves.
Very cool.
That sounds exciting. If the evil side wins the scenario, then the Fellowship have failed to reach the safety of the Elven Kingdom, and you should proceed to the ambush at Amon Hen.
Great scenario.
Well, let's assume that good have won, and proceed to Gifts of the Elves over the page. Galadriel welcomes the Fellowship into her realm and gives them the chance to rest and recover from the journey. Before they leave, she also gives each of them a gift to aid them in their quest and protect them from danger. So the items available to each character are detailed in the descriptions below. So firstly, Safe Haven. It's a safe haven as described in Pack 60s playing the game. I think that means they get all their stats back.
Yeah.
And then replacements. This is cool. If during the campaign any members of the Fellowship have died, i.e. be killed in a scenario and then rolled a 1 on the Death of the Hero table, it's possible to recoup some of these losses in Lorien. Choose your replacement heroes as detailed below, but you can't choose a hero if they're already part of the Fellowship, because remember this could be a fantasy Fellowship, or if they've ever been part of the Fellowship and died. If your guide has been killed, so that's the Gandalf character, you can add Galadriel or Celeborn to your Fellowship as a new guide. That's cool.
Tell me, where is Gandalf?
For I much desire to come with you. I want to be the hero. However, if you originally chose Gandalf the Grey to be your guide, he has died. You may not choose a new guide, as he will return in the Two Towers campaign section as Gandalf the White. Huge spoilers.
Yeah.
If one of your warriors has been killed, and your warriors were the Legolas, Gimli, and Boromir characters,
yep,
you can choose Haldir to replace him. Haldir will come equipped with a bow.
No armour.
No armour, no. Pajama Haldir. So that's quite fun. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing about that in Quest of the Ringbearer now. There's no, in the Fantasy Fellowship. There's no way of topping up your Fellowship, I think.
No.
And then we get the Elven Cloak rules, possibly for the first time here. And I will say, I love this picture. Oh, do you notice something else, Steve?
What?
Look at my magazine on Zoom or on YouTube.
Yeah.
You notice anything? Compared to last week?
Huh?
Compared to last time?
What do you mean?
You can read it.
Oh.
Not backwards.
Oh.
Smashed it. So.
When can I go on? Give you.
But check out this picture.
Forgot about backwards zoom.
Yeah. I looked at that and I saw 2 orcs.
Yeah.
With 2 dice.
Yeah.
Is that all that's there?
I don't know, it's quite dark in here. Can't see.
Well, exactly. What else is there?
Oh, is that Gimli?
It's Gimli in an elven cloak.
You know what? I can't see him. I can just see his axe.
You can't see him because of the elven cloak. It's really good. Look, he's really quite nicely concealed. Classic Elven. So, slightly different rules here. So the whole fellowship get them. If the wearer does not move or use magic, he can choose to be concealed. While concealed, he cannot fire a missile weapon. As soon as he's charged, moves, or uses magic, he no longer counts as concealed. So it's a bit more like kind of drop and roll, isn't it? It's a bit more like...
It's like the Frodo slipping down the hill, pulling the cloak over.
Yeah. Concealed characters are practically invisible, and if each evil model must roll a dice to see if they can see them before charging or shooting. On a 1 to 3, they can't charge them. On a 4, 5, or 6, they can charge him with shooting or magic or move into combat with him. Once a character is in combat, he's no longer concealed. And concealed characters don't have a control zone. Models on horse cannot use their elven cloak. Now that's cool, but to me, you would never ever risk that. Like, imagine you got your little hobbit with his elven cloak. You either get to run away, or stay where you are, and the evil player just moves all his orcs around you because the player knows where he is, and then hopes he rolls a bunch of 4, 5, and 6, which he probably will. But it's a nice idea. And then you got this weird thing again where if you want to use them in points matches, I remember talking about this with maybe Boromir last time, but it was like, if you want to use these narrative profiles from your campaign in points matches, they go up by 5 points. I don't know what world that's in. And then Bow of the Galathrim. If you've chosen Legolas to be the champion of the
Machine Gun of the
Fellowship,
Galathrim, you mean?
You what?
Machine Gun of the Galathrim.
Indeed. If you've chosen him to be the champion of the Fellowship, and that is the thinking man's choice. So this is the Aragorn role. He will receive the Bow of the Galathrim, created by a skilled elven craftsman. This mighty bow is unmatched in both its range and power. The Bow of the Galathrim counts as an elf bow with the following special rules. It has strength 4 instead of strength 3. Remember, people, this is in a world where there are no great bows. And he may re-roll one of his dice to hit his target each shoot phase. It's really cool.
Some of them Galathrim bows in my army.
If Legolas receives the Bow of the Galathrim, he will use it in all subsequent games. In points match scenario, his points value is increased by 20.
Thank you, mate.
That's pretty mega.
It's insane. It's insane, mate.
But you get... I feel
3
like...
shots with re-rolls.
3 shots with 1 re-roll. 1 re-roll, right?
Just one?
Dice, yeah. Still good, though.
Oh, re-roll 1, yeah.
Let's go over the blurb. Galadriel welcomes the Fellowship into her realm and gives them the chance to rest and recover from their journey. Before they leave, she also gives each of them a gift to aid them in the quest and protect them from danger. And a bit lower below, on leaving the Woodland Realm, they are each given gifts to help them combat the perils that lie ahead. Before continuing the campaign, the good player will receive some gifts for his heroes. The items available to each character are detailed in their descriptions below. It's Legolas.
Yeah.
I mean, they all get the coat.
Legolas gets... sounds a bit biased because he's an elf to me.
Well, it gives each of them a gift, and they each get given gifts, and some gifts for his heroes in their description. It's Legolas. He's the only one. Everyone gets a shiny coat, but Legolas is the only one. I feel like there was like 2 pages missing or something. But yeah, so unfortunately, you know with Sam where he's got the she gives him a robe. If you run out of those shiny daggers, like everyone else, like Boromir's there going, can I have a bow or a sword or a belt? Even a crappy belt would be great. You know, no, everyone gets the cloaks. Have you brought Legolas? No, we didn't bring Legolas. Right, no one gets anything. Have you brought Legolas? Yeah, but he's one of my warriors. He's where Legolas normally is in the Fellowship. No one gets anything. Have you chosen Legolas to be your Aragorn? Yes, you can have a nice bow.
It's a bow. That is really, really, really good.
You'd have to you clearly what we need to do is find the end of the Return of the King bit. You have to read every magazine before you start your campaign.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, right, Legolas is the champion.
Yeah.
Like faux show.
What if you didn't choose that and then you got to this bit? Like,
that's what I mean. Cheated.
Should we start the campaign again?
Stupid cheating elves. And then over we go into Amundsen. So remember, in that Silverlode bit, if you lose that as a good player, you don't get the pretty. You don't get real. That's brutal. Yeah. This means that your guide has died in Moria, So you're already down, and maybe you're a few models down, so you're likely to lose that scenario. And the reward for losing that scenario, because you need the reinforcements, is that you don't get the reinforcements.
Yeah.
Brutal. You go straight on to Ambush and Am and Hen, which is the same version as Pack 11. Right? And they replaced the Aragorn with his champion and Legolas and Gimli with 2 of his warriors. You replace Boromir with a warrior affected by the Shadow of the Ring. And then whoever you replace Boromir with can't make use of fate to recover lost wounds. Merry and Pippin are replaced with the allies from your Fantasy Fellowship. If the good side wins, then proceed to the Fellowship Broken, which is right here. If the evil side wins, or the game is a draw, then the Uruk-hai have got enough time to hunt down all the hobbits, and the good player must make a roll on the death of the hero table for the ring bearer. After the roll has been made, proceed to the Fellowship Broken. And so the Fellowship Broken, this concludes the first section of the Lord of the Rings campaign, which will be continued in a later pack in the Two Towers. If you decide, you can end the campaign here. All the salty people who didn't pick Legolas as their champion and go,
yeah, let's end it here. Let's end it here.
End it here, mate, call it. If you decide, you can end the campaign here and determine the winner. If the ring bearer is still alive, the good player is victorious. Otherwise, the evil player is the winner. So quite cool, quite simple. You may choose whether to continue playing the campaign, carrying on with the quest of the ring bearer. In this case, you will need to remember how the events of this campaign section turned out, as any remaining heroes, special items, and other special rules will be carried over into the next section. In addition, the good player will need to roll on the death of a hero table for any of his characters that were slain in the ambush at Am and Hen scenario. Lift in the Shadow. If you're continuing the campaign, then the good player can redeem one of his warriors suffering from the Shadow of the Ring. As long as the warrior survived the Ambush and Am and Hen battle game, so didn't roll a 1 on death of a hero table, then it will no longer be affected by the Shadow of the Ring special rule. In addition, any might, will, or fate he's lost, which is from the Shadow of the Ring rules, will be restored to him. So that's cool. So that's basically saying that in their versions, let's say it's Boromir, if Boromir survives Ambush at Am and Hen, when Frodo pisses off with the ring, Boromir becomes noble Boromir again.
Yeah.
Essentially, which is quite cool, I think, and then goes off and helps the 4 hunters. So yeah, there we go. That's been about 4 issues, I think, of the campaign. What do you think? It's a nice idea, I thought.
Yeah. I liked it.
You can be, I like it. All right.
I like it.
I like it a lot. It's good fun. So we're then on to the new scenario, which is where Bilbo gets his moment. And this is about Ringwraiths ruining Bilbo's birthday party.
Wraiths.
Ringwraiths descend upon Hobbiton, relentlessly searching for the ring. In this pack's battle game, Bilbo and his friends must try to fight off the terrifying Nazgul and prevent the ring from falling into their clutches. And we look at what might have happened had the Nazgul arrived in the Shire during Bilbo's party, hunting for the ring. Together, Gandalf and Bilbo, with the help of the other hobbits, must try and deal with the sudden and terrifying arrival of the Ringwraiths in the midst of Bilbo's birthday party. Which is cool because I don't think it's in the game anymore. I'd never read this scenario before. Like I don't think it's been in any other issues or anything.
It doesn't look familiar to me.
There's some cool rules though. We have a 4x4 board, very shirey, covered in hobbit holes, that sort of stuff. A pretty mega little bag in there, which I think we'll read about more later. It's the 4 hobbits, Bilbo and Gandalf against 5 Ringwraiths on horse. On a 4x4 board. There's a lovely little picture of Bilbo finding the ring. Is it that way?
Yeah.
With Gollum lurking in the background. It's very, very nice. So Bilbo has the ring in this instead of Frodo. Frodo, Merry and Pippin are unarmed. Confusion. As the Ringwraiths gallop into the centre of Hobbiton, the party gets scattered in fear, unsure of who actually carries the ring. The Nazgul will attack any model that crosses their path in a desperate search for the Master's prize. At the start of the evil player's move phase, check to see if any Ringwraith is within charge range of 1 or more good models, and if so, move it into contact with the closest enemy. If at the start of the evil player's move phase, Bilbo is wearing the ring, then all the Ringwraiths must move towards him, charging if possible. Being forced to move into combat or towards the ring bearer does not interfere with the Ringwraith's ability to use magic. So this basically means that you can save Bilbo by baiting him with other hobbits. So they have to charge. Is it the nearest? No, it's just Oh yeah, so you have to move into closest. So if you don't want to charge Bilbo, you put Pippin. He goes, "Don't worry, Bilbo, I got this." He then gets punted into by a charging ringwraith on horse. Dear sweet Pippin. Fireworks. This is fun. Merry and Pippin have stolen some of Gandalf's fireworks, intending to set them off themselves, but now they can use them against the Black Riders. This means that I don't think we can do this at any point in the game now, can we? I don't think we can fire fireworks at people. This means even if they win a combat against the ringwraiths, even with the assistance of other models, the ringwraith must move its full distance away again, in addition to the 1 inch. So that's the same as the Bree one, where they have to go 11 inches away, so they can't charge them next turn. In addition, once during the battle, if they don't move, they may shoot their fireworks at a ringwraith up to 12 inches away, using a shoot value of 3+. Resolve the hit with a strength 6. It's like firing a bazooka at ringwraiths. It's awesome. Once a hobbit uses fireworks in this way, he may no longer benefit from the fireworks special rules. That's quite cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Not as cool as this, though. The hill in Hobbiton is filled with cosy little hobbit holes, many of which are large abodes with many ways in and out. Any good model that ends its move touching the door of a hobbit hole can, if it chooses, enter the dwelling, remove the model from the table, and in the following turn it can exit from any hobbit hole on the table, counting its movement as starting from the dwelling's door. So they're like there's a maze of tunnels, which is I think is quite cute. And does it actually say what you get? It says the hobbit holes. It doesn't say how many. They've put 3 on the board, but I think that's mega. And in winning the game,
what's that game called? Whack-a-mole, is it?
yeah. And I was a bit surprised by this. The evil player wins if at the end of the turn Bilbo's been killed. That makes sense. The good side wins if at the end of the turn only 1 or 2 ringwraiths remain, which is killing 3. The game is a draw if both sides complete their objective in the same turn. So I kind of thought Bilbo was going to have to try and escape. Yeah. It's not. It's the hobbits trying to kill ringwraiths, which then obviously puts you can't really bait. That tactic I was talking about with. It's dangerous because charging ringwraiths is probably going to run down Merry or Pippin. Mm-hmm. But there's some nice tactics. There's good tactics and evil tactics. And what's quite cool is the idea that you could have Bilbo and Merry working as shields for Bilbo. So the ringwraith would have to charge them, at which point, say it charges Pippin, Bilbo and Merry then trap the wraith. Yeah. He couldn't charge Bilbo, but they could, maybe if they're all, or maybe not Bilbo because you don't want to risk him, but you could have like Bilbo next to Gandalf with 2 minnow hobbits in the front. The ringwraith would have to charge minnow hobbit, and then you put Gandalf in with his fight 5 and chop him up. Could be cool. And then you've also got magic for like immobilising Bilbo and immobilising the ringwraith with Gandalf. I think it looks really good fun.
It does.
It's a really nice little scenario. The sort of thing I think it'd be a lot of fun to play in the current game. I think it'd still work.
Be a great BSIME battle report, that.
Do you want to set it up?
I think we should stick a post-it note on it. Sure.
Stick a post-it note on it. Who's got?
I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be fun.
I'll tell you the annoying thing from my end. It's a 4x4, which I can't really hook up here.
I have the space to, but it would take the way everything is in here at the moment. Let's earmark it. Maybe in a couple of months, I'll be able to get it sorted.
Maybe the 6th anniversary of Ian Holm's death.
I'll forget.
You're right though.
I think that'd be a really cool one to play.
Absolutely. And then we're on to the painting guide for Bilbo. Steve.
Yeah.
I haven't read it. That's as far as I got.
I mean, I've not read it recently, but I used it to paint my Bilbo.
It's serendipity, this feels like. You've used the guide.
Yeah.
How is it?
You know what? I actually think that my Bilbo using this guide turned out better than the Bilbo
in the guide.
It was a funny one.
It's a great face, isn't it? It's a brilliant face.
Brilliant face, yeah.
What are we getting? Skin and hair, shirt and cravat, trousers, waistcoat, finishing details. There and back again. Oh, there's a nice bit about the book. This is cool. What does it say? To make the pages of Bilbo's book, begin by applying a base colour of bleached bone mixed with skull white. Give this a very thin wash of brown ink to define the pages. For the cover, paint it scab red, dark flesh and scorched brown. Coat of scab red but mixed with red gore, leaving the base colour showing in the creases on the cover. To highlight the edge of the book, add bleach paint to this mix. After this, give the cover a wash with a mix of flesh wash and magenta ink. Pick out the emblem on the book using mithril silver. They talk about the ring. Oh yeah, gold details. To paint the ring, because he's holding the ring in his hand, isn't he? To paint the ring and the gold buttons, first paint over them with a mix of brown and black inks. Once this is dry, paint them with a mix of tin bits and shining gold. Follow this with a coat of shining gold. Finally, highlight the ring and buttons with burnished gold. You just paint the ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit on base detailing. If you wish, you can add an extra level of details to the base with the addition of flowers. Matching those on the hobbit holes from the modelling workshop to allow you to attach the pins to the base. So I think we're going to be using dressmaking pins as flowers in the scenery one. Cut the pins to the appropriate length. Drill a hole in the base and glue them in. Once the pins have been attached to the base, you can texture and paint the base to match your other miniatures. Paint the flowers to match those on your hobbit holes. And there he is.
Awesome. Great model.
Lovely, lovely model. Quite a nice idea, I think. The pen. It's a bit like the pins for chimneys. I think they look like pins. I'm not convinced they look like flowers. What do you think? Am I being too hard?
I like them.
Yeah, you like him. You like the pin chimneys as well.
Yeah, I like them.
There you go. I'm glad. It's a shame you haven't got a photo of your old Bilbo. Let's see how you did with it.
Yeah. I think my Hobbit army box is in the studio. And he's in there.
Got you a Dunland army coming back to you for meetup.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing? You're bringing it to the meetup?
Seems to be the words I just said.
Is it? I'm tired now, mate. It's been a long day.
And then lastly, we've got Hobbit Holes.
Yeah.
Only 4 pages of Hobbit Holes. We didn't used to like an 8-page terrain guide recently, but Hobbit Holes is a classic.
I mean, there's not much to them, is there, when you read it?
So what is it? Again, I haven't got this far, so I haven't actually read this one, so I don't know if it's...
It's basically just carve a hill from a chunk of foam.
Yeah.
And then it shows you how to do the details, which are all really cool. You got like the round door.
Oh, drawing around a paint pot.
Windows. It works out cool. I mean, we've seen these at tournaments up and down the land, haven't we?
What have you done? You've got a Shire board, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of Shire boards.
Is it this sort of thing?
I did. I mean, these were where my Hobbit hole hobby exploits started, making them exactly like this.
So you've made some of these?
Exactly like that, yeah. I made a few of them, but then kind of you learn a lot of basics from then, and you move on. I did the one that's got bag end, the big bag end, and then I've got a couple of boards where I think they're not modular, so it's built into the actual board, the Hobbit holes. They're probably some of my favourite boards to play on, and some of my favourite boards that are built. Just really cool.
It's interesting that in the current Scarab of the Shire book, it is different. They're going for this kind of like get a massive rectangle. I know you've got a kit now.
Yeah.
And then it feels, and then it's more like you glue it together, and then it feels like carving it with a knife. They seem to be going for on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Isn't it? It's a big block of foam. Some lovely little detailing on that bit of like how to do the windows, drawing around
windows,
drawing around pennies, bit of
getting the queen on the door and things like that. It's a good guide. It's a good guide. There's nothing, nothing's going to change the world in it.
Things are made to endure in the Shire. That's quite cool. There's a nice picture of it before painting.
Yeah,
it's quite cool. And then side windows. Just more. Oh, it's the add in the little raised bits that they stick out, isn't it? That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
Making a little chimney, carving detail into it. Mixing flocks. You're mixing green and brown flocks to make things a little less 90s GW, perhaps. Finally add flock to the model, different colour flocks. The brown will show the surface. Hobbit home. Once finished, your Hobbit hole can be used in any battle set in the show. That's the finished bad boy.
It's good.
It is good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Like I say, I haven't read the painting guide and the Hobbit hole article. I am going to read those. I'll probably read those tonight in bed because I'm determined to read every page in Battle Games of Middle Earth. Like I'm not going to. I've got to issue 62. I'm not going to not read them. But I don't think it's a good one. You know.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I think it's a middle of the road one for me. I think with the campaign issues, the campaign explaining how the campaign works takes up a lot of pages and doesn't leave room for much else.
It breaks the theme.
Yeah.
Like the Bilbo thing's cool. Bilbo's cool. The scenario is really cool. Unique scenario. We don't have anywhere else. Good painting guide. Good terrain guide. But you've then got 6 pages about the Fellowship of the Ring in it.
Yeah.
And it just, all good content. I enjoyed the read and some interesting rules, but for me, that just stops it getting into that. Oh, that's a cracking issue type thing.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy it. It's a good one. Carrying on the very fine form of this binder, you'd have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Do you want to catch up on the chat before we head over to Facebook?
Yeah, if you set the Facebook up, I'll catch up on the chat. What we're going to do, we're going to go through the chat now and jump straight into the Facebook. It's slightly shorter than usual tonight, folks. We're aiming to finish around midnight, so it's a school night. My eyes are starting to go. Everything's getting a little bit blurry, or it could be the fact that my glasses are filthy. Just give these a clean, mate, and then we'll catch up. Right. Martin says, apologies, lads. Another rules question. What's your favourite and least favourite special rule, aka Blood and Glory, Terror, etc.?
Do you know what? I'll actually, without looking through them all, I will say I despise Blood and Glory. I hate it.
Yeah.
And with the exception of Aragorn, Mighty Hero. Whenever anything else gets Mighty Hero, but anything that gives might back, I think breaks the game. I hate it. I really, really don't like it. And I don't really understand why Shagrat gets Blood and Glory. I don't get a thematic reason. Like, was it Shagrat?
Maybe there isn't a thematic. Maybe it's just to make him desirable. So
there's a horrible, horrible snowballing effect. I remember Amda. Tom used Amda against me once with Thorin's Company, and he would strike against the hero, so use the might point, kill the hero, get the might back.
Yeah.
Strike against the hero, kill the hero, get the might back, and it was. Yeah. I hate that. So there might be others, but that would be the one that I really don't like. Anything for you?
Special rules. There's not any particular one that I can think of, but I'm similar to you. Anything, but I'm like that with most things, and I think I've said it to you in the past. Events that mess around with the rules, I'm not keen on. Like, you get events and it's like, oh, you can have this character in your army, and I know some people love it, and that's fine, but I'm just like, it's not for me. That, I'll break the rules of war bands and stuff like that.
I don't really like Master of Battle either for the same reason. It's free might. It feels like cheating.
Yeah, I don't mind Master of Battle because I like what it's supposed to be representing in the game.
I think if you have to roll, when you have to roll for it, I think fair enough. But when you get it automatically, I think it's just like the Ironhill's captain getting it for 5+ as a unique special rule. I think it's quite nice for a captain because you go, oh, maybe I'll have a captain instead of Dwalin or whatever because he's got a cool rule. But when you get like Dane, who's already incredible, and then they go, well, if you want to take him in your green army, it's like, I will. His green army's amazing. We'll give him Master of Battle as well. It's like, oh. And then like Azog and Bowl getting it in their Legion, they're already amazing, and then they become more amazing. I don't like
that.
Yeah. Ones you do like?
Pardon?
Ones you do like? Hot special rules?
I think like you mentioned, Aragorn getting his 3-point amount. I think that's really thematic and plays into the character really well. Just helps him sort of get out of those situations where it's looking like he might be in trouble, which I think is very thematic. You know.
I'm going to cheat because I think he means the book.
Not that long since I played the game.
I'm going to say, in a long time, Palantir viewers will know that I've said this before, I'm going to say Knife Mistress, Tariel's rule, because I genuinely think it makes you play Tariel like she is in the film. It makes you charge into 2 guys to fight, which is what Tariel does. I think it's one of the best.
I quite like Thorin's Oakenshield rule. I like that. But you can shield and you get that little 1 strike back, which is cool.
I'm pretty sure he meant ones from the books, but I don't think I particularly love any from the books. I don't know, but that's a special rule that I always remember thinking that's so good because it changes the way you use the model to make you use it in a manner that feels like the film.
Yeah,
it's a really good rule.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with that, and that's me saying that. And I've not used it that often. I just, like you, I just think, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Frederick says inflation streams in Middle-earth. Yes. Sean Clark says, we have had to remortgage this year. Thankfully, we were already on a high interest. I do feel for people who are used to the lower rates and are remortgaging. Yeah, it sucks ass, man. Yeah, it's not good. Alison says, in theory, wages keep pace, therefore it's normalised. That is in theory, my friend, I think, for most people. It's difficult. It's a difficult time, man. It's a difficult time. Christine O'Neill, I just hopped on to paint a bit before dinner and noticed your shirt, Damien. I'm pretty sure every person in my undergrad had that shirt.
Well, then, that sounds like a very sensible undergrad course.
Dwellin says, least favourite is that ponies don't get charge bonus. Yeah, that sucks. Favourite Dwellin.
They used to in our day.
Yeah, they used to. I don't know why they took that off.
Because they're ponies.
No.
They're not war horses.
Paintbrush Pirate. Prices might come down marginally, but in the same time, people will want more wages, which means they can afford the price increase, and then companies charge more and put up prices. We're all screwed. Yes, we are. Pascal says,
we're all screwed.
in regard to inflation, Steve is right to an extent. We adjust and accommodate. I worry about the small section of the population already struggling who have just no flex left.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and I think the people in power generally, they just see the fact that, oh, we put the prices up and people are paying it. They don't see the sacrifices that have to be made by some people to be able to pay it. And that's the problem, really. That's the problem. We'll be all right soon, aren't we? All getting loads of money for free soon, apparently.
I believe the government made quite clear this week that they're not giving anyone any more help. We've had enough, Steve. You should be glad what you got. Go for a week.
Frederick says, so I feel like at the end of this stream we've all learned that aliens drive inflation because issue 62 was years away back when the stream started or something. Exactly. I've used him, says Matt. High points in Gildo's Warband, underrated hero in Lothlorien Force. He's an underrated hero. Chris Murphy, the new edition he has uses as he has the one ring for gimping heroes. You mean pimping heroes, Chris? Kieran Townsend, I'm off, guys. Thanks. Have a good one. Take care, mate. Yeah, he's definitely better, Chris. Sorry, going back to your comment. He was terrible. You never ever seen him. I think that was. I'm sure I remember it was either over on Top Table, one of the Top Table lives where I was chatting with Jay about Bilbo, or it might have been Speak Friend and Question that was on GBHR, I can't remember. But I remember talking about the fact that you just never seen him because there was never, unless you were trying to build a list that was really thematic built around him, there was no point in bringing him at all. It was just far better options. But I mean, that happens on a few occasions in the game, I suppose.
Was that about Bilbo?
Yeah. I brought him to Hammer and Rock as he might have. Yes. Brought him to Hammer and Rock as he might have corner case application, and used him on a Mordor troll for the fight debuff, as his partner Orifin doesn't have a strike. Why has that just jumped when I was right near the end? That's annoying. Why has it jumped back up? Matt Hudson. Chris Murphy says, the game is missing hobbits wielding a bazooka cities. Sean Clark says, those Shire boards are my favourite. Watching games on them often turns to me just looking at all the details. Cheers, pal.
I think that's your Shire board.
Yeah. My favourite rule is impressive girth.
Oh, who's that?
Who do you think, Mr. Murphy?
Oh, classic Murphy. That's just you hate to see it at this level.
Yeah. That's what's got up on the chat, mate. I'm just gonna load up and refresh my whip thread if you want to get it up on screen.
I don't think the children would like that.
I think it's been quite busy, the whip thread. My notifications have been going a bit crazy. 55 comments, not bad. Only 22 left in. Welcome, you long haulers.
You just
Good
see
work
the difference.
on a Wednesday evening.
You just see the difference of a Wednesday stream, don't you?
Everyone's like, God damn.
Wednesday
have you checked the emails?
Better than no stream, mate. Not only have I checked the emails,
posted it.
I've posted it.
Love it.
Yeah, it's right up your street as well.
I can imagine. I've been waiting for it, mate. All stream.
Alright. Now,
right, I'll hand over to you, mate, if you want to.
Well, indeed. Not only that.
Do you want me to read? Because I can scroll through, and you just follow my lead, and you keep track of the names.
Well, I need to put it on so that we can talk about it at the right time, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if you put it on,
yeah,
I'll talk about the posts. You take the names. You kick ass and take names. But you just keep your scrolling up with what I'm talking about.
I'll do my best. So
do you want to do that, or do you just want to do it?
I've transitioned. Careful. Don't. It's not worth it. And I believe I can now go. So hopefully, can you see on YouTube? I've turned off on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is it there?
I can see the big Bilbo. Yeah.
Does it look alright?
Weird white background. You're not made it dark like everybody else who's normal.
Oh, is this about light and dark Facebook?
Yeah.
Sorry. Why is that not live?
I don't like the fact now that when you click on a thread, like it brings it up like in front of.
It might be quite good for this, I thought, actually. So is that looking alright, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's see how this works, and we never know what's going to happen. So this is Bilbo week. So we kick off with Mr. Joe Holzman.
Yeah.
How's it look? Oh my god, where's it? I can't even see it.
Oh, you don't want to zoom in.
What has happened to that?
You don't want to zoom in, mate.
Well, I've got no picture. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's because I've already zoomed in. How does that look on YouTube?
Terrible. Yeah, you just scroll, mate. Don't zoom in.
But I want to see the pretty pictures. So we're just going. You can see this, all right? Can you?
Yeah, just leave it as.
So don't click on the pictures, and then
because people can do what I'm doing, which is in another window, get the thread up, and scroll through with us.
Cool. So we have Joe Holzman, who has Old Metal Bilbo and some sour squashies for me tonight.
Yeah.
I can't even see the models. The people could cheat.
No, he's definitely got it up. I can zoom in.
Lovely.
Go at the same time.
Then we got Frederick Schultz. Got a bunch of stuff, including some homemade iced tea, some chocomel, and some special orangeade from Dortmund. Currently working on my Kirith Ungol Orcs for Ardacon, but I'll be taking a break to glue some sand onto the base of a certain burr or hobbit.
Yeah, he's got
oh, there he is. He's got a little plastic Goblin Town Bilbo.
Bilbo, yeah.
This looks more sensible to me. Is that working in any way? Yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? You can see that.
Yeah. Well, whatever you can see, they can see.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep going with them. So Frederick's in with Goblin Town Bilbo.
Yeah. Matt Hudson. We've got a
I
whip
appear to be
as well.
writing Goblin Town Bilbo rather than Frederick Schultz.
Looking good, that Matt. Looking good. Looking good.
So next up, Matt Hudson. Old. Why is it doing that to some of them? It's really good. Old Bilbo, partly painted to finish tonight.
Yeah.
And he's got a update there. Oh, he's looking very good. Some nice eyes there. Is that using the guide possibly? Hudson. You'd love to see it. Michael Haskell found an incomplete Bilbo, quite probably from a previous BSIME. So nice. Start of the evening pick. Now also this is Yorkie Honeycomb number 2. That is some solid.
You won't sleep tonight, Michael.
Willpower. Yeah, remember he had a box of like 48 of them. So that's really good willpower. Michael.
He's got an update. He's got a whip pick as well, where he's actually finished. So it looks great.
Just needs basing. Looking good. Looking good. That's a lovely blue.
Blue looks class, mate. Nice, nice. I love a blue jacket. Love a blue jacket.
You can tell it's in the second half of Desolation Smile because of his blue jacket. Frederick Schultz has posted the link to.
Oh, hang on. Have you not got Jake Pollard next?
I do. I can only apologise. Jake Pollard.
Some lovely whip picks. Tell you what, mate, that blocking in of your base colours is very neat. I like it a lot.
Let me see if I can
done just a basing to do. Nice work, man.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That's like an old GW guide, isn't it? When just do your base coats and everything looks super, super nice. Yeah. Painting done, just need to decide on basing. Pretty happy for midweek paint, as you should be, sir.
Yeah, very cool.
Glad we could assist.
That model as well, tiny.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. I remember getting so excited in 2012 when those plastic sprues came up. We then have Frederick Schultz, who was quite rightly posted Leonard Nimoy's seminal hit, The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Make sure you go and watch it. It's one of very few songs I know with an oboe solo. Sean Clark has no Bilbo to paint. The dedication to winning a black dice.
Don't. Is that what you're doing? I've just been watching that video thinking, what's he doing?
Can I?
Don't.
Is he? No, is that stripping him?
Yeah. And he looked lovely as well.
I think I was playing the video. Is that can we see that? Is that happening? Is that looking all right?
And then I can see him stripped.
That is monstrous, Sean.
But then Sean being Sean looks beautiful. Like, it was probably well worth stripping because that face is insanely good. It actually looks like Bilbo.
You know, it is a sculpt that looks like Martin Freeman when it's well painted, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't... stripping models just makes me feel ill. Can't be doing with it.
Great
well done, Sean. You are in.
With bells on.
We then have Dwalin Grudgebane painted invisible Bilbo and Frodo tonight. Alright, here we go. Here's our first chancer. He has, hasn't he? He's put him on a base.
And do you know what, mate? I like that idea of the rings behind him.
Yeah, this is... So Dwalin's done... He's doing all the ring bearers in the ring world. Don't know if you'll be able to see that one on YouTube if I've clicked on it now. But it's a kind of marker for them to use in game for when they're wearing the ring. It's really cool.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Like it a lot. Oh, we got a barrel Bilbo.
Oh, that's nice to see. Love to see it. So that is Chris Belowitz.
Yeah.
He is having a barrel of laughs. Belowitz. Having a barrel of laughs, painting this little fella. I hope to catch up with the stream later, but at least I'm painting quite. You know, that is one of the scariest bits of hobby I've ever done.
What's that?
You know my bag end display for throwing skulls?
Oh, yeah.
I carved that Bilbo off that barrel to put him on a chair. And it was, I mean, if you look at his little hands and his little feet, it was not, I mean, I'm really pleased with how I got. I think I lost one limb that I had to then super glue back on. But, yeah, it was a scary, scary hour or so. Very, very cool. That was Chris. We're then up to Jeff Flora. I'm really happy to have the chance to paint this old miniature from the backlog. It's sat in a tub for 20 years.
20 years.
Is that not?
Brilliant.
Is that not classic BSIME?
It is. It's that annoying thing. It looks very neat as well. That's another one where base colours looks very neat. But it's on that annoying thing when you try and take a picture of something on a cutting mat and your camera focuses on the flipping lines.
Yeah, sure. yeah, absolutely.
Slightly
Your base is wonderfully in focus. You're in Jeff Flora. Jeff Flora that's not a name I recognise, is it?
No, I think that's new.
Lovely, thanks for getting involved, Jeff. Dave Walker. Here is my finished invisible Bilbo and my normal Bilbo. I will largely be building 40k, but I do fully intend to quickly finish my normal Bilbo tonight. Of course, do, mate.
There's an updated whip pick as well. Looks class, that pal.
Dave.
It's a really good shot. That you can see the detail on the face and the scale of how actually small that model is in his hand.
It's tiny. Look at the comparison. Look at the size comparing that Hobbit to that butt plug. It's just you can really get an idea of how small that is. And is that the new that's all the new what's it called?
Stuff.
What's it called? I was saying Dominus, but that's so last year. What's it called? Insidious Flashpoint?
No.
What's it called? It's all over the internet. It's good that neither of us know. The new 40k box. Everyone's very excited about it. Can't remember what it's called. Sam Page found this thief in the shadows. And he has put him on a base. Hopefully it counts. It does count.
Yeah.
Because you, sir, have taken a model from your backlog and made progress on him. We can ask no more than that. Richard Flagg, I based these the morning of the last stream, but sadly forgot to post. You may say Aragorn reached a record of 51, but in my heart... Oh, no! Well, thank goodness that he didn't miss out by one. So we have Richard Flagg, who was working on an Aragorn in the last stream and forgot to post about it.
Yeah.
And then he says, I shrank him, is that better? So do we...
So he's working on Bilbo as well.
Yeah, because that's the in the close-up that's on the screen at the moment, that's tonight's stream in the background, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're in this week. And thank goodness you didn't cost Aragorn the title. Got a whole bunch of hobbits going on there in the background. Why did he paint half of Sam's face? That seems mean.
Barrels.
What's your work in there, Richard? But Aragorn's looking nice as well. Richard Flagg. Then we're on to Chris Murphy, who was working on a Bilbo and 8 Warg Riders. That's I've got that Bilbo. That's Riddles in the Dark Bilbo, isn't it?
Yeah.
I picked that set up a while ago. I think I've actually assembled him and had him undercoated, ready for ready to go, but didn't quite get it. Oh, and he's got the new-ish Bilbo, the one that was released, the unreleased one from Forge World.
Yeah.
It's been painting him up. That's very cool. Top Bilbo work from Murphy. We then have Sam Huddy. Hope I'll have time to jump in later as I've had a Bilbo saved for this one. Oh, nothing yet, but hopefully you will. Stuart McLean working on Bilbo with the ring equipped. Darling Crushman is mainly concerned with why he's using a biro when he could have painted the word Bilbo. Then
Good progress shot.
Is that on? Is that?
Yeah, you can just see it here.
That's a cracking work in pro. Do you reckon he's put the paint on? Is he painting something else? Or has he put the paint on his thumb for real dedication? Steve, I think we're going to have to say no to Stuart.
Yeah, we've got to say no. If you would have put a... This is what I'm going to say, because you can't do it now. No take backs. If you'd have put a base on there, you might got away with it.
Shocking stuff. Sam Earnshaw is in, and he says, it's a very BSIME model. Can't think when I'll ever use it. Well, exactly. Perfect. And thank you for participating and getting into the spirit of it. Looking very, very good. Hope you enjoy your time with your new Bilbo. Warwick Griggs working on the classic Bilbo in Minas Tirith army with all weapon options. I'll tell you what, it might not be Bilbo, but that shield is lovely.
Yeah, I quite like the paint job as a whole. The gold trim on the shoulders. Nice.
I was just going to say, Steve, they've got some gold armour on those Minas Tirith warriors.
Yeah, it's not full gold though. No, you know what I mean?
Word on the street is you're not a fan. Finished up these 3. Cheers for cracking streamers. Oh, thank you. It's lovely to hear. They look great.
Yeah.
I like how in the first picture, which is one that's back on the table, they are just standing on the tables of a Minas Tirith pub.
Yeah.
Warwick Griggs, Ashley Fisher, the only Bilbos I have. They're invisible Bilbos. Plus an extra dragon. That counts.
Just the bases, mate. You're in.
Ashley Fisher. I'm giving them a lift to the meetup. I don't want to leave them out. I'll just spend 2 hours in the car going, you should have included me. It's not worth it. What's that ice cream flavour? Basing Saar. That sounds tasty. Made in Germany. Frederick, if you let us know what Basing Saar is, that would be great. Congratulations, sir. So here comes Adele doing the admin work for Mark and Lily.
They look like they've been based to me.
Yeah, we'll allow it. So we're going for...
Now we've got a progress clip on them as well.
But they're all in bed, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Still done them on day.
I'm putting Adele in. I don't think we normally get people doing the admin for other people. Adele can have a chance to win a dice as well. Adele says, progress picture of Mark and Lily's Bilbo is taken early on tonight. It's been continued over the weekend. Looking good. Yeah. And Riddles in the dark Bilbo and the plastic Bilbo. You'd love to see it. And then, I mean, there's dedication there. They've painted a Bilbo and taken a photo of it in front of the thumbnail.
Yeah.
We'll allow that. Then we're on to Frederick Schultz, who has very kindly put a picture up for me. Thank you very much for AMR colours. Craig McCullum. Almost forgot to post my off-topic mini in the thread. Not at all. That's good to see. The Witch King.
Yeah.
We got a whip pick, an M picture for the night. Toned down the highlights of the cloak and added some much more to the armor bits. Doesn't show up much in the pictures, but looks punchy in real life. Yeah, it's off on the way, particularly with black. Looks great, man. I really enjoyed painting that one. You did him, didn't you? You did him as part of your unboxing video, like super quick, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've only done the one on foot, but I really liked him. Really enjoyed doing him. Good stuff, Craig. Thanks for getting involved. We then have Richard Flagg, who I believe we've already got. Yeah. A few more highlights in the base to finish.
Nice eyebrows, Richard.
And then done, I think. Yeah. Eyebrows are always tricky on them, aren't they? Looking good. Nice buttons. Joe Holzman calling it there for the night. Got an early start tomorrow. It's looking good though. Cracking eyes on that.
Good face, man.
That's great, man. Larry was in. Alas, no Bilbo, as I found out when I was leaving fairly last minute, but managed to catch a few minutes.
Sam's comment.
Sam says, very funny, Larry, posting an invisible Bilbo and claiming he's not here. Now I know Larry's not in the stream, but this probably means something, doesn't he? You know what he's like with his wood and all. Strawberries, Oreos, rum.
You just never know with Larry. You just never know.
Why is it strawberry? There's no way Larry's put 6 strawberries on a plate by chance. There's no way. I don't know. Michael Dublé managed to dig this guy out, and clearly 13-year-old me was ready for this stream as he was already primed. You love to see it. You love to see it. Dublé's in.
Dublé.
Hope he got on well.
Morgan Morris next, yeah?
No, I've got James Richardson.
Fully painted stage, looks class.
We got James Richardson.
I've got Morgan Morris. I've got Morgan Morris and then Frederick.
Yeah. you're missing a James Richardson in between.
Oh yeah. I've done a U and skipped him.
Oh, they looking.
Yeah,
Well, they're just stunning, James.
He's a bit of a painter, is our James.
If you I'm not sure if it's showing up here, but there is a Bilbo on the right there. Left, sorry.
I was going to say that's not Bilbo, right?
That is amazing, though. Looks brilliant.
Yeah, beautiful.
Lovely stuff, James. Thanks for getting involved. I love how on that picture it looks like Fatty Bulger's weapon is the bit of
a bit of
paint.
Junk. Yeah.
What did you call it?
Junk.
That's James
Morgan
Richardson.
Morris now, yeah.
Morgan Morris late to the party tonight. Bill from Thorin's company, so he's in.
His whip pit looks great.
Whip pit all wrapped up, just dry brushing the base to go. See, I know you know this, but as per like AMR, I would have dry brushed that before painting the feet. I dry brushed why would you? I think, and I know I'm in the minority here, but you can do the messy dry brushing over your base coats, and then when you tidy up with your highlights, you clean up the feet, and then you don't have to dry brush and risk getting it on your finished model. You know?
Yeah. Some people paint on things.
I did that for you know the Warcom article I did about the Crebain and Saruman? I sent that into Trokey. He was editing it at the time. And it had Saruman being painted on the painting handle. And he made me write an explanation of why I'd done the base first. It was like that on a painting handle with the base finished.
Yeah.
And he said, you have to explain why you've done this first. I was like, why? He was like, it's so weird. If you don't explain it, people will ask questions about it.
People will say Damien's weird.
Yeah, and there was a note in it that where I had to write, I like to do the bases first on handles because I'm a deviant or something. Stephen Ryan says, slow going tonight, but glad to be painting another 20-year-old model. He's working on Bilbo. Is that an alternative colour scheme? Or is that still the base coat? No, I think it's just the base coat.
Can I just say, Frederick, that's not the one. That's not the battle report. It was against the Eagles. It is on there somewhere.
What was that?
And it's around the same time.
Oh, he's put... So what's that one then? Adventures in Arda.
I don't even remember playing it.
Is that you?
I think so. Yeah.
Goblin Town versus Battle of Five Armies vets.
Got a whip pick from Stephen as well, looking really good.
And Christian O'Neill, I finally have some motivation to paint one of the coolest Lord of the Rings characters. Oh, you hear that? Steve, where's his motivation?
A lot of people with very neat base colours tonight.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all I've got. I'll refresh.
You need to refresh because a certain Joe Achille has posted. And you're going to like this. So this is £22. That's the weight, not the currency. Full brisket. And he's actually put fork included for scale, but I think that was a different thing. So this is, check this out, right? It's $111 worth of beef.
Damn it. Oh, mate.
$111 of brisket for £22, right? But then this, which I'm hoping is showing up, is £2 worth of that 22. That's a lot of meat.
I could eat that now.
That's a hell of a lot of meat, isn't it? Imagine how big that literally is. Wonderful. So
Nice smoke ring, my friend.
That was from Joe Achille.
Yeah,
and that, my friend, I believe, brings us to the end of the thread.
I got some whip picks from Frederick of Orcs.
And Frederick Schultz.
Yeah. Love Orc picks.
Do I need to go back?
Just refresh. It's after Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'd transitioned. I can't. What's this going to let me do? Refresh that. That's refreshing the page. There's that. All comments.
If you're still on, Joe, or if you watch this back, do comment, because I'll pick up the comments later. Let me know how long you cooked that for, or what time.
Are these conversion? He was going out to pick up his kids or something, wasn't he? I wonder if he's back.
Yeah.
Is that a conversion, or are they
I think
the
there's
metal
slight
ones?
conversions on
They
them.
are conversions, aren't they? For sure.
Yeah.
Looking awesome, Frederick.
Very cool.
Really, really good.
And that's it.
I must have missed one. I've only gone to this guy. Yeah, I think that's an old metal Moranning base, maybe.
Mm.
But there we go. You love to see it. Mainstream transition. And I believe we should be back in business.
Yeah. While you have a quick count up, there's a couple more comments come through, so I'll read them so we're like up to speed. It's midnight now, so we'll get the rolling done. Frederick says, "Is that working?" He asks. Image vanishes. Leviathan. Is it Leviathan?
Leviathan. Leviathan. That's the
none of the above.
But I was just realising, I was like, why is he asking me that? Oh, that's the name of the 40k box.
Michael Haskell says, "Not going to make it to the end. Great evening, guys. Great to have you, Michael. As always, take care. Hopefully catch you, Michael," says Dave Walker. And Frederick says, "When you dry brush the base, at least you get some dirt and dust onto the feet. Sign the base to the mini." If that's the look you're going for, Frederick. Not everyone does. That's it. How many we got, mate?
We have 23.
It's a good effort on a Wednesday, I think.
And do you know what, Steve? There's 23 people watching right now.
Yeah, I think it's a good effort on a Wednesday.
Not exactly.
With 1 day's notice. I think it's a good effort.
It's a shame for Bilbo, I think, because I think he could have achieved greater things.
Mm.
But my conscience is clear because I don't think he would have beaten Aragorn. Do you think on a Friday night he would have got past 51?
No. I think 51's going to take some beating now, mate.
It could well be it, right? Let's not rule out that could be our champion.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me. Steve, I can't believe this because I wasn't expecting this stream. This is an incredibly important stream.
Yeah.
And we nearly didn't mark it. Do you know why?
Why?
Issue 62.
Yeah.
We're 2/3 of the way there.
The milestone, mate.
There are 91 issues.
Give you a silent clap.
You what? There are 91 issues and 3 specials, which is 94. So 61 was not 2/3 of the way there. But 62, we've made it 2/3 of the way through the series. Can you believe we nearly didn't mark that?
Crazy.
But yeah, and that's only, I was just reminded of that because I was literally about to say we've only got about 1/3 of the magazines to go. And so you're getting to repeats, you're getting into the realms later of, no disrespect to these people, Theodred, Hasharin, Dwarf Captain, Easterling Captain. Do you know what I mean? These aren't the big names.
No.
That are likely to turn awesome. But yeah, 2/3, mate. Well done.
2/3.
Doing well.
Adam and Eve it.
Is it 8-ish, episode 84?
Yeah, it's mental, mate.
Crazy times. How did we not celebrate that? Amazing stuff. But anyway, we have 23.
Yeah.
And so we are going to need... you can almost do this with a D6. We need like a D8 or something, don't we? I have what's that? That's a 6. There's a 7. Is there an 8 on this bad boy? Oh, do you know what? I think this is a D7, which is quite a remarkable dice. So I'm going to keep that aside for the final group.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I don't think there's a... Oh, is that a D8? No, I've got a D10. So I think. Oh no, there we go. D8. Got it. Michael Curtis stops having a panic. All right. So we have a D8.
Yep.
So I can. I need to transition over in Zoom rather than in Streamlabs. There we go. Looking all good.
It's good to have it back.
It's good to have it back. You don't get this sort of stuff in Tring. You get great tea and drink service and cheese straws. You just don't get dice game. So our first group of 8 is Joe Holes. So it's a great chance to win a dice here. really good chance. I kind of
Yeah.
want Sean Clark to win for stripping his model, and I kind of want Adele Fisher to win for doing the admin work for Michael Lilly. We have Joe Holzman, Frederick Schultz, Matt Hudson, Michael Haskell, Jake Pollard, Sean Clark, Dwelling Grudgebane, and Chris Belowitz. Are we ready?
Let's do it, man.
It's one. Is that one?
Is that Joe?
It's Joe.
Joe Holzman.
Joe Holzman's made it. He stuck to his position of first, and it's paid off for him. He's into a final. You'll love to see it. Our second group, we have Jeff Flora, Dave Walker, Sam Page, Richard Flagg, Christopher Murphy, Sam Earnshaw, Ashley Fisher. Oh, and Adele Fisher. So Adele's in this group. Adele's on the 8. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's a 7. She just
Lucky
missed
7.
it out. It's Ashley Fisher.
Woo-hoo.
Whoa, Steve.
Got some big names there, mate.
Well,
big
you know
names.
what that means?
Go on.
Ashley Fisher is one of our joint highest. Oh my goodness me. We now have obviously there's everything to play for yet. But I'm pretty sure that right now Joshua Crosby and Ryan Cuthbert are livid.
Human.
Ashley Fisher has made it to another final. Could he be the first to reach 5? That would be
You
great.
want to start putting the lottery on him, don't you?
That would be great because I could just give it to him next weekend. And finally, and before I read the numbers out, I want to show you this thing because it's a thing of beauty. Check this out for a dice. It's an odd numbered dice. Look at this. You read that?
No.
1, but it's kind of a
yeah.
cross.
Ah.
You see how the 1 is?
Yeah.
That's 6. It's really weird and cool.
Yeah.
It's D7.
It is weird.
So for our final group, I don't think we've used D7. As always, thank you to Michael Curtis for these wonderful dice. We have Mark Fry, Lily Fry, Michael Dublé, James Richardson, Morgan Morris, Stephen Ryan, and Christian O'Neill. Good chance for Mark or Lily to get in here. Is that a 1 or a 7? It's a 1.
Is that a 1?
It's a 1. It's Mark. Oh, and this is going to be controversial, right? Because he's in that group because I put Adele in the previous group. But I mean, he's not really, is he? Because butterfly effect and all that. But Mark has done it, much to Lily's fury, I'm sure.
So what with Joe, Ashley, and Mark?
We have Joe, Ashley,
Fine.
and Mark. Your money's...
Who's your money on here?
Well, your money has to be on Ashley. He's the form player.
I'm going to go Joe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go Joe.
Let's go and have a look.
Got a back Joe here.
I think Joe's won one, hasn't he? Joe's won 1. Mark has not won 1. And Ashley has won a mighty 4. So I think the People's Champion's got to be Mark Fry going for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what we can come up with. As ever, the first to 3. Joe will be 1, Ashley will be 2, and Mark will be 3.
Yeah.
It's Mark. He ain't come here to muck about.
No, he's not here to make friends.
Take that, Fisher, he says. And Ryan Cuthbert and Josh Crosby breathe a huge sigh of relief. Joe, where's Ashley's game at? Where's Ashley's game at? 4 times champion, joint leader has not turned up.
For all that hype.
No. Oh, he's back in the game. I swear sometimes it's like these dice are loaded, but they're loaded for all the numbers. We do seem to get tense times, don't we? It's 1-1-1. It's a 2-set shootout.
Yeah.
Frankly, those first 3 rolls mean nothing now. Mark will be ruining. He's let that Lees slip. Has he fuck? He's back in the game. Mark Fry, 1 dice roll away from his first ever black dice. Can you imagine the glory that Adele will get if she's uploaded the stuff after he's gone to bed and won him a dice? And he's got a throw in hand. Do you reckon he can do it? Can he get over the line?
Stay with my original. I think Joe might come back.
Steve, Craig, we always know you're a student of the game. But again, Ashley, this is where we were, right? We went Mark, Joe, Ashley, Mark, Joe. It must be Ashley. It must be Ashley. It must be Ashley. It's Joe Holzman. Joe Holzman has stormed to it. The Fry family are in disarray. Oh, I can only...
I just had a feeling in my water.
You did. It was there from the start. You said it. You knew it. Joe has taken his second dice. Joe Holzman becomes 2 dice wins. It is stream number 84, isn't it?
Yeah.
23 since his last stream win. He becomes one of only 9 people to have 2 black dice. Over we go to the stream, and we have add row below. That's annoying because I'm not driving him. Stream 84 was on the 21st of the 6th, 23. It was won by Joe Holzman. A worthy winner, you would have to say. He's always there. He's always...
What the hell is this thing beating up?
He's always there first as well, isn't he? Notes. What would you say, 23 entries?
Yeah. Well done, Joe.
Trees. Issue was 62. Not nominated. Theme was Bilbo. And there we go. Congratulations, Joe. I think he'd gone to bed, hadn't he? I think he had turned in.
Ashley says, unless I'm mistaken, 61 was 2/3 because we had 2 of the 3 specials so far. 2/3 of 94, 91 plus 3 rounded up is 63. Less the 2 specials so far is 61. Congrats, Joe. Congrats, Joe. The comment, he's put maths in it. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
Well, he might be right, you know. No, he's saying that there's 94 issues, but we would have done 61 plus 2, so we would have done 63 of the 94. Yeah, I think he's right. Yeah.
Everyone's saying congratulations to Joe, and Ashley also says that 5th dice will be mine one day.
Oh, you're so close.
I have no doubts, Ashley. I have no doubts about that. But not today.
Not today. Today it goes to Joe. I feel bad for Mark.
Not this day.
I feel bad for Mark. I thought he was there. Oh, I should probably change back, shouldn't
I? Yeah.
Just chat away as a dice tray.
So yeah, well done, Joe. Awesome. We are going to start wrapping up. I think what we can do is look forward to next issue.
It's a biggie.
It is a biggie. It's the Gollum issue. And do you know what? Honestly, I think if anything could do it, and we get a good turnout on the night,
it could
be Gollum.
It's Gollum, and it's the first time we've had Gollum.
Yeah, I think it could be Gollum. It's one of those models that people have probably got more than one lying around, and they've just never paid it because they've never needed it.
It's a bit like Bilbo, just lying in the background, not doing anything.
Gollum could be one.
He's I said this 6 months ago. I said, look what we've got coming up. We've got that we haven't had. We have Denethor, Gothmog, then a Faramir, a Boromir, an Aragorn, Bilbo, Gollum. It was a really hot run, and Gollum's the last one. I haven't looked onto the next binder, but he's the last one from this binder that you think could do it. And people like Gollum, and he's a BSIME model.
Quite easy to paint.
Yeah. So we're gonna who knows? We're not gonna necessarily force it to be a Friday or a Saturday, if that means we can't do it for 2 months or anything. But I want this to be a Friday or a Saturday one.
Yeah.
To try and go big, so start prepping your Golems. But in your next pack is a whole Golem pack. Frodo suffers as Golem's treachery is revealed. Learn the rules for using Gollum in your games. Play the Forbidden Pool and Shelob's Lair scenarios. Paint Gollum and make the Forbidden Pool to feature in this pack's battle game. And you got it was the Gollum with a fish, and look how happy he is. He wants to be the champion. I don't know. 51's a lot, but if it's a Friday or a Saturday, I think people like Gollum. I think they can get involved with him. You know.
I agree.
But yeah, we.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think stay tuned. I'll probably have a quick 5-minute chat with Damien after the stream about dates. But I think we'll try and let you know this week when the next date will be. We have got the meetup a week Friday.
Look forward to seeing some of you there.
So we'll see some of you down there, which will be great to see. Are we in the usual party holiday?
Of course. Where else?
Oh, yes.
All cool kids hang out.
Love it. So we'll see some of you guys down there. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight on this midweek stream.
Yeah, it's been great. Sorry it was Wednesday, but some stream better than no stream, and hopefully you're happy.
To be fair, it's on a selfish personal note. It's been lovely. It's been
great fun.
It's been a nice sort of highlight to the middle of the week.
Yeah, you know me. I'm just happy to keep them going more. I would rather have them more regular on different nights than less regular on the same night.
And we said it last time. Throughout the summer, there probably will be a few midweek streams, and then getting into the winter, it'll probably get a little bit more structure again. And it's just the way it is. We would rather do it that way than have to wait for a Friday or a Saturday where we are both available, because I think that's what we were doing last time. We just had a massive gap because it's a struggle for me, big time, at this time of year. So yeah, that's it.
And
great.
My internet held up.
It did. Smashed it, mate.
So I think we're all right.
Yeah, smashed it.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
we are golden.
We're like technical whizzes, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a blast as always. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to everyone who watched on catch up. If you're new here, make sure you click on subscribe. And if you want to come and join our wonderful Patreon community, please feel free to do that.
Yeah. That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Should we say good night to everyone?
Yeah. What do I do?
You put us on the whole screen. Put us on mute.
Whole screen, mute, then end stream.
And then wait for YouTube to catch up and then end stream. So, to everybody.
See you next time.